Chapter 2161 Carefree Wisdom Heart. Chapter 2161 Carefree Wisdom Heart. The Inkman elder told Renzu, even though wisdom Gu often stays within Qian Kun crystal wall, it is hidden very deeply. To find it, you will need to venture deep into the crystal wall. It will not be possible with just ink texts and the tiles that are formed below your feet. These tiles only record all sorts of information on the superficial level. With the endless barrage of other information, the limited ink texts within the tiles will change in content, they will disappear quickly and cannot last for long. The Inkman elder said again, "O human, you need to turn all the information into knowledge. Only with knowledge can you explain information clearly. You will be able to write them down in words, allowing you to create a real path instead of just tiles made of texts." Renzu was troubled. How can I turn them into knowledge? The Inkman elder laughed. There are many bookworms on Book Mountain. They record the knowledge that our Inkman seniors have left behind. O human, you can go look at them. It is not difficult to gather the knowledge yourself either. Firstly, you need memory Gu to store all of this information inside your mind. Next. Before the Inkman finished his words, cognition Gu appeared, saying to Renzu, "After that, I can help you to refine knowledge." The Inkman elder nodded with a smile. Indeed, cognition can produce knowledge. Renzu, then I will thank you all in advance. The Inkman elder shook his head. No need to stand on ceremony. Cognition Gu, don't say that human. We have always been good friends, and this situation benefits myself as well. If cognition did not take in new information, it would quickly get outdated. Only by receiving new information and thinking about it could cognition create useful new thoughts that were healthy and vibrant, innovative and lively. Renzu gathered many bookworms on Book Mountain. He obtained a lot of new information. Next, with cognition Gu's help, he created many new knowledge from the vast amount of information. He used ink texts to write down his knowledge, scattering them on the ground and creating a black path made of ink texts. Renzu and Great Strength True Marshal walked on this path. They walked for a long time, far longer than any of their previous trips. Oh no, I don't have enough knowledge left. Renzu walked to the end of the path, feeling very dejected and upset. He had gathered many ink texts, but the knowledge in his mind was insufficient already. Renzu and Great Strength True Marshal's first attempt failed. They had to return to Book Mountain. Great Strength True Marshal continued to collect ink texts while Renzu gathered all the bookworms. With cognition Gu's help, he refined even more knowledge from them. With more and more knowledge, Renzu found that his mind was getting filled up. I have too much knowledge now. Renzu was very satisfied. He said confidently, "Let's go, I am sure we can reach the deepest part of Qian Kun crystal wall this time." However, they still failed in their second attempt. Why did this happen? My mind was already filled with knowledge. Renzu said dejected. This is all the knowledge I can hold. No, oh human, look closely again. Self-Gu suddenly spoke to remind him. Renzu inspected his mind. He found a Gu hiding inside it. Renzu realized at once. So you are occupying my mind, preventing me from getting more knowledge. What Gu are you? The Gu answered. I am Pride Gu. Renzu said anxiously. Can you hurry and get out? You are occupying such a huge area. I want to fill the place with knowledge instead. But no matter how anxious Renzu was, or how he urged, Pride Gu refused to leave. When Renzu was out of ideas, Great Strength True Marshal spoke. Oh father, don't be anxious. Don't forget that I still have humility Gu. I will give it to you. Great Strength True Marshal took out humility Gu and gave it to Renzu. Pride Gu was chased away by humility Gu. It had to fly out of Renzu's mind and land on Great Strength True Marshal instead. Strong Gu was very happy. The strong have their own pride. After Renzu chased Pride Gu away from his mind, he returned to Book Mountain to continue gaining knowledge. After Renzu gained humility Gu, he realized that the more knowledge he had, the more he found that he was lacking knowledge, and the more he wanted to fill his mind with even more knowledge. Renzu's mind was quickly filled. Self-Gu urged him, "Oh human, stop now, your mind is already full of knowledge." But Renzu replied, "But I think that it is insufficient. I am certain that I still do not know a lot of things. I need to continue gaining knowledge." Renzu continued to refine his knowledge. His mind was getting bloated, it was hurting and could not hold any more information, but humility Gu made him feel like he was still lacking in knowledge. Suddenly, there was a loud boom. Eventually, Renzu's mind could not take it anymore. It exploded from an overload of knowledge. The knowledge scattered on the ground as a little girl stood up from within. "Father, father." The little girl hugged Renzu's leg happily. My name is Carefree Wisdom Heart, I am your daughter. Northern Plains. Sincerity Grassland. Chen Cheng was dressed in green, his arms were crossed behind his back as he stood arrogantly upright. He stared at the foreign female immortal before him as he shouted, "Who are you? Why did you request to meet me here?" The female immortal standing before him wore a half mask covered her nose, mouth and cheeks, only revealing the upper half of her face which showed her strong contours, sharp and long brows, bright eyes and a heroic aura. She wore a dark gold armor that covered her whole body, bringing a heavy feeling of suppression on any that looked at it. She was definitely not an ordinary person. "You can address me as Fairy Black Moon," this female immortal said. Fairy Black Moon. Chen Cheng raised his brows. "Where are you from?" Now that the 5 regions were merged, GU immortals no longer had region-specific auras, that was why Chen Cheng asked the question. Fairy Black Moon smiled lightly. "My identity and origin are not important. Chen Cheng, you are called the Sincerity Immortal, you cultivate Rule Path. Back then, you had an agreement with your friend, the loser in the battle would recognize the winner as their owner and assist them. Do you remember this?" Chen Cheng's pupils shrank as he frowned. "I was young and arrogant then, I did not know what that truly meant, that was why the agreement was made. I was still a mere GU master back then, who are you exactly? You know such an obscure secret." Fairy Black Moon smiled coldly. "I'm only asking you, Chen Cheng, is this agreement still effective?" Saying so, she took out a token. Chen Cheng received it as his expression changed again. "This token is real, where did you get it? What relationship do you have with my friend?" Fairy Black Moon said again. "I said these are not important." Chen Cheng took a deep breath, he said with a solemn expression, "I understand now, you want us to have a fight, if you win, you will make me your servant. Since you took the initiative to find me, I am sure you are confident in your own strength. But I need to remind you, even though I am a lone cultivator, after roaming Northern Plains for so many years, I have gathered many trump cards. If you win this battle, I will acknowledge you as my master. But if you lose, I will be your master." Fairy Black Moon laughed heartily. "Everyone calls you the Sincerity Immortal, someone who keeps his words and promises. After meeting you, it seems that this is true after all. Let's fight." Chen Cheng was furious. "Regardless of who you are, today, I will see what you are capable of." At the next moment, thunder rumbled as the battle of 2 immortals ensued. Inside the Sovereign Immortal Aperture, He Chun Chu was taking charge of 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool. Splash splash splash. The water of time moved erratically, creating the mesmerizing sound of waves. A rank 8 immortal GU was quickly forming, landing in He Chun Chu's hands. "Good, all of the destroyed rank 8 immortal GU have been refined successfully." He Chun Chu nodded, feeling satisfied about the progress. 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool had the ability of regret pool, any immortal GU that it refined would have an insignia left behind. When the immortal GU is destroyed, 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool would use the power of the tributary of the river of time together with the insignia to refine the immortal GU again. The success rate would be higher than refining a new rank 8 immortal GU normally. When Fairy Minghao forced Fang Yuan's subordinates to retreat earlier, Lu Weiyin expressed his pity over the destroyed immortal GU. But he did not know that Fang Yuan's refinement path methods were unimaginably powerful. In just a few days, he refined all 3 rank 8 immortal GU that were destroyed in that battle. But Fang Yuan was still not satisfied with his current refinement path attainment. Several days had passed since Minghao defeated Lu Weiyin and the rest. These days, the 3 worlds were quiet and safe, battle had stopped, there was temporary peace. Since it was not time for the actual fight yet, Fang Yuan used this time to comprehend the profundity of the place. He had already investigated Paradise Earth's tomb, there were countless Tao marks distributed in it, the structure was complex and profound, the scale was immense, he could not unravel it in a short time. Fang Yuan spent most of his energy on the countless big and small worlds here, trying to comprehend the refinement path profundity that they contained. "Sage, Savage Wilderness Great World's Envoy seeks your audience." At this time, a Yellow Earth GU Immortal reported respectfully. "It's Bing Sai Chuan." Lu Weiyin came over as well, bringing accurate information with him. Fang Yuan smiled lightly. "It is about time they came here." Earlier, the loss of Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch and Xiao Hejian was actually part of Fang Yuan's scheme. Even though Heavenly Court lost to him before, Fang Yuan had never underestimated their foundation. Heavenly Court placed a huge focus on Crazed Demon Cave, they even brought Divine Emperor City over. How could Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch and Xiao Hejian defeat Heavenly Court? With the current situation, Even though Longevity Heaven, Heavenly Court, and Fang Yuan had one of the three great worlds each, Heavenly Court was still the dominant party. The three sides were contesting, but there was still the strongest and weakest side among them. Together with Bing Sai Chuan taking the initiative to cooperate with Fang Yuan during the Fate War, after Lu Weiyin and the rest returned in defeat, Fang Yuan waited patiently for Bing Sai Chuan's envoy to come. It was just that Bing Sai Chuan, one of the four Desolation Immortals, actually came here personally. It showed Longevity Heaven's sincerity right away. "Friend Fang Yuan, have you been well?" Bing Sai Chuan smiled. But Fang Yuan's expression was cold. "I am working together with Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable to help him revive." Bing Sai Chuan, it is really unwise that your Longevity Heaven wants to cooperate with us. After all, when the time is ripe and Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable revives, our strength will rise sharply, we can even suppress Heavenly Court. This, Bing Sai Chuan's expression froze immediately. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2162 Cooperating Once Again. Chapter 2162, Cooperating Once Again. The purpose of Bing Sai Chuan's visit was obvious. He wanted to work with Fang Yuan and resist Heavenly Court. Fang Yuan did not want to waste time, he directly stated the obstruction towards their cooperation instead. Paradise Earth's tomb was huge as a mountain, Longevity Heaven and Heavenly Court knew about it long ago. The reason why they attacked Yellow Earth Great World earlier was also because of this. Bing Sai Chuan was a rank 8 expert renowned in history after all. He laughed, the stiffness on his face vanished at once. "Fang Yuan, do you know where this Book Mountain originates from?" Fang Yuan had a thought. Book Mountain is not originally an arrangement of Heavenly Court. Bing Sai Chuan nodded. Indeed, that is so. Book Mountain was originally in the 9th layer of Crazed Demon Cave, but because of Heavenly Court's immense foundation in Wisdom Path, they comprehended a portion of the profundity and took out Book Mountain from the 9th layer in advance. Oh, Fang Yuan did not acknowledge nor reject the answer. But Lu Weiyin's expression changed. This was something that the GU Immortals of Yellow Earth Great World did not know of. After all, it happened deep within Green Lotus Great World. Heavenly Court has such a method. They have already started comprehending the 9th layer and even managed to bring out Book Mountain. Did Limitless Demon Venerable's retaliative method not activate? Bing Sai Chuan sighed deeply. If it worked, we would not have come here so urgently to seek an alliance. Fang Yuan replied in a solemn tone. Did you see Star Constellation Immortal Venerable? Bing Sai Chuan shook his head. Not even once. Fang Yuan asked again. Then what is the relationship between Fairy Minghao and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable? Bing Sai Chuan replied honestly. Since the arrangement of Limitless Demon Venerable exists, until the right opportunity arises, we will not use our full strength. Thus, we did not force Star Constellation Immortal Venerable to show herself. But Heavenly Court had 3 female immortals that appeared. They all possess pseudo-venerable battle strength. Fairy Minghao is one of them. These 3 female immortals are Minghao, Yu Shu, and Fengya respectively. They cultivate Wisdom Path with Star Path secondarily. Your side has already seen Fairy Minghao's strength. Fairy Yu Shu is stronger than her. Days ago when we fought, our side had to send reinforcements to stall them and form a stalemate. As for Fairy Fengya, she seems to be even stronger, but she has never taken action. She has been secluded in Crazed Demon Cave to comprehend the 9th layer profundity. Book Mountain is the fruit of her labor. Lu Weiyin could not help but sigh. Heavenly Court is the #1 force in the world after all. Their foundation is unfathomably deep. After Duke Long died, they lacked pseudo-venerable battle strength, but to think that 3 of them were hidden in Crazed Demon Cave. This shows the importance Heavenly Court is placing on Crazed Demon Cave. Bing Sai Chuan added. Other than these 3 pseudo-venerables, there are also rank 8 elites like Qin Ding Ling. In addition, regarding the forces they have out in the open, there are Divine Emperor City, Demon Judgment Board, and Heaven Overseeing Tower. With Heavenly Court's foundation, it will not be strange for them to bring out more immortal GU houses. Lu Weiyin gritted his teeth. Heavenly Court even transferred a portion of the immortal graveyard into Crazed Demon Cave. This immortal graveyard was created here by using the tomb earth they collected. At the crucial moment, the immortal graveyard's slumbering experts in history would awaken. They have terrifying strength too. Precisely so, Bing Sai Chuan concluded. Fang Yuan and Lu Weiyin, both our sides need to cooperate. Otherwise, how can we force Star Constellation Immortal Venerable to show up? How can we defeat 3 pseudo-venerables? How can we ensure the revival of Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable? Bing Sai Chuan's intention was obvious. Heavenly Court's advantage was too great. If they were not stopped in time, even before Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable revives, Heavenly Court would have won already. Thus, there was a need for them to work together. Lu Weiyin looked at Fang Yuan, who nodded slightly, agreeing to this cooperation. Longevity Heaven seemed to have no fear regarding Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable's revival. They were very confident in themselves, their trump cards were definitely not few. But currently, with Heavenly Court in the lead, they had to do something to slow them down. Savage Wilderness Great World and Yellow Earth Great World stopped fighting between themselves. They sent out troops to attack Green Lotus Great World together. Even though there was cooperation with Longevity Heaven, the extent was quite limited. Fang Yuan suggested that they should exchange true inheritances. He wanted to use Venerable true inheritances of equal value to exchange for Longevity Heaven's Luck Path true inheritance of Giant Sun. Bing Sai Chuan rejected him with a polite tone, but his attitude was firm. Fang Yuan also suggested that they should exchange immortal materials. He wanted rank 9 Luck Path immortal materials, but Bing Sai Chuan rejected him as well. Fang Yuan's force had already inflated to this level. When he sent out his subordinates earlier, even Bing Sai Chuan was completely stunned from their collective strength. Bing Sai Chuan and the rest had a strong opinion against Spectral Soul and Red Lotus. To help Fang Yuan destroy Fate GU, they had truly given him too much help. In just these few days, Fang Yuan's force had already grown to this terrifying level. And what about his own strength? How much had he grown until now? In this situation, how could Longevity Heaven make a transaction with Fang Yuan? Wouldn't that be helping his growth? Due to the cooperation of Fang Yuan and Longevity Heaven, the situation changed greatly. But Heavenly Court seemed to have predicted this. Even though the two sides attacked with their full strength, they were still defending themselves firmly. At times, when the defensive lines were about to break, Fairy Minghao and Yu Shu would take action personally, either maintaining Heavenly Court's position by forcing enemy GU Immortals to retreat, or using the battle opportunity to invade Savage Wilderness Great World and Yellow Earth Great World instead, causing huge destruction and countless deaths. Fang Yuan also saw Fairy Yu Shu's strength for the first time. Fairy Yu Shu had an exceptional combat system. Her attacking methods were very special. They relied on the difference between the two sides' attainment level. The bigger the difference, the stronger the attacks. Ever since the first time they reached the base of Book Mountain, Fang Yuan's subordinates made no such advancement again. Like this, the three sides fought with each other. The situation was in a deadlock. Days went by one. A large number of GU cultivators died. Their sacrifice made the three worlds grow larger with an increasing number of stable Dao marks. The more GU cultivators died in this place, the more the boundaries of the three great worlds faded, and the larger the area which the worlds were connected to became. On this day, at the peak of Book Mountain, Fairy Yu Shu gathered the Heavenly Court Immortals. She spoke. Right now, Fang Yuan and Longevity Heaven have cooperated. This is giving us huge pressure. Our Immortal Graveyard has a backup hidden force, but Fang Yuan's Wu Shuai clone has not shown up yet. Longevity Heaven is also hiding their strength. Since the situation is now in a deadlock with all three sides wary of each other, the small worlds around the three great worlds will be the key to our victory. These small worlds might be weak, but they still have GU Immortals. If we can get them to join us, we will gain an advantage in the fight between the three forces. During this time, Fang Yuan and Longevity Heaven cooperated, managing to suppress Heavenly Court. Heavenly Court was losing more and more members. Zhou Shangxin sighed. These small worlds are easy to defend but hard to attack. Even though we tried many times and are able to win by force, very few GU Immortals decided to join us sincerely. Prince Feng Xian added. These GU Immortal inhabitants lack sufficient intelligence. They are very stubborn as well. Most of them bear animosity towards the three great worlds. They think that fusing their world into the great worlds would cause the destruction of their homeland. They hold a firm attitude. Thus, Fairy Yu Shu smiled. I will hold a lesson at the peak of Book Mountain to teach the countless masses. Any GU cultivator, mortal or immortal, can join this session. How will you do that? Wan Zihong asked. Fairy Yu Shu explained the details. Heavenly Court's immortals had changes of expressions. Lady Yu Shu has such an incredible method. We are truly in admiration. In that case, we will not have to worry about these GU cultivators not joining us sincerely. These lowly GU cultivators actually have such a great fortune to be able to get a Dao lesson from Lady Yu Shu. This is too good for them. Haha, they are all just cannon fodder. They will be sacrificed in the end. There is no harm in doing this. Heavenly Court's GU Immortals discussed among themselves. The atmosphere slowly became relaxed. Divine Emperor City, Qi Howling Painting World. A group of beggars stood around Fang Dichong, facing a huge elephant. The huge elephant was pure white in color, its four legs stomped on the ground, it was unmoving like a sturdy mountain. The beggars were in a stalemate for a long time, their morale was falling, they started to feel like they could not resist this huge elephant. Fang Dichong was frowning deeply. This Qi monster is made from righteous Qi, the longer we fight it, the more disadvantageous it is for us. Qi monsters had all sorts of shapes and sizes, they were not fixed, they could be made from all kinds of Qi, having varying temperament and strength. For example, Qi monsters made of domination Qi would be domineering, Qi monsters made from death Qi would love to be in places filled with many deaths. Qi monsters made of life Qi would have strong recovery abilities, while Qi monsters made from luck Qi would be hard to kill. Once they were killed, the benefits to the GU cultivator would not be small. Even though Fang Dichong was Fang Yuan's clone and shared his attainment level, he had lost his body and soul. With just his will left, he resided within the human path beggar GU. Thus, he could not resist this white elephant made of righteous Qi. But thankfully, the righteous Qi white elephant was not rampaging, it did not make a move in the end, only staring at the beggars. I have arrived. Shen Shang finally fought his way to them. After finishing off his earlier opponent quickly, he came to help out Fang Dichong. He fought against a group of blood Qi monsters earlier, he was bathed in blood. Fang Dichong immediately sighed in relief as he made the beggars fall back and let Shen Shang in. Shen Shang fought against the white elephant using human path methods. This rank 8 GU Immortal was indeed the human path quasi-supreme Grand Master chosen by Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable, he quickly gained the upper hand. But right when he was about to finish off the elephant, the ground started to shake. Rumble. About 10,000 bull-shaped Qi monsters stampeded together while creating huge dust clouds behind them. Shen Shang and Fang Dichong's expressions changed. The righteous Qi elephant screeched in fear as it escaped in panic. Shen Shang did not bother with it, he grabbed Fang Dichong and quickly ran in another direction. The stampede of countless bulls was like a tsunami that swept heaven and earth, it could not be stopped. Shen Shang and Fang Dichong managed to escape with their lives, they watched as the bulls charged away. These Qi monsters are made of charging bull Qi, but isn't the size of the group too big, who can block it? Shen Shang sighed. Fang Dichong replied, the bulls are running towards the closest camp. Who knows how many will die, but that camp is going to end up in ruins. Shen Shang nodded. Indeed, once the camp is destroyed, we can only retreat to another camp further back. Our exploration will get tougher. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2163 Endless Learning. Chapter 2163 Endless Learning. The two of them had deduced something earlier, thus they worked together and explored deeper into Qi Howling Painting World, in order to find and communicate with Heavenly Court's enemy at the depths of the painting. The enemy of an enemy was a friend. But even after Shen Shang and Fang Dichong did their best, they could not reach the deepest part of the painting. Qi Howling Painting World was too huge, Fang Dichong's strength was at a limit, even though Shen Shang had rank 8 cultivation level, it was severely restricted and here, the difference between mortal and immortal was not evident. The only good thing was that Shen Shang's illness was greatly alleviated here. Ever since he entered the painting world, he had not relapsed again. According to Shen Shang's estimations, the dense human path environment here was helping him. Sigh, the 10 children of human path have left. Without their help, how can we get through this painting and meet the one suppressed at the deepest part of the painting? Fang Dichong sighed. Shen Shang was about to speak when his expression changed suddenly, he shouted, this is. Next, Fang Dichong also sensed the aura of a rank 8 immortal GU rapidly spreading towards him. The two no longer cared about Qi Howling Painting World. They quickly returned to the central area of the original painting world. The two of them saw a rank 8 immortal GU at the same time, it was floated in the air, shining with radiance. Divine Emperor City is truly deep, it actually contains this legendary immortal GU. If I am not wrong, this should be the learning GU recorded in less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than. The two conversed, seeing the shock on each other's expressions. Learning GU is a human path immortal GU, this is likely the highest ranked human path immortal GU in the current world. Fang Dichong sighed. I get it now. Shen Shang's eyes suddenly shined with bright light. Why did beast tamers and Qi cultivators appear earlier? It was the result of this learning goose effect. Of course, this should not be the only GU used, it is likely a killer move. Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable had such grand ambitions, his arrangements were truly deep. Fang Dichong frowned. But why did this learning GU activate on its own now? Did something happen in the outside world? Shen Shang was troubled, he did not know about the situation outside. But he quickly reacted. This is a prime opportunity. Learning GU must be one of the cores of Divine Emperor City, regardless of what is going on outside that caused this core to be used alone. At this point, Divine Emperor City's intact structure has a crack in it, we can find this weakness and make use of it. Good idea. Fang Dicheng's pupils expanded as he looked at Shen Shang excitedly. Let us work together and explore the secret of Divine Emperor City. At the same time, Crazed Demon Cave, 8th layer. Green Lotus Dao Field, above Book Mountain. Fairy Yushu sat at the peak of Book Mountain, within her immortal aperture. Divine Emperor City's learning GU spread out its radiance, cooperating with Fairy Yushu's other immortal GU to form a human path killer move. Endless learning. At the middle and bottom of Book Mountain, there were countless GU cultivators. The killer move's radiance was light blue in color, it spread down and covered all of these GU cultivators. Their bodies shook intensely. The immortals' expressions changed, they were filled with deep shock. An indescribable profundity of the great Tao flowed into the depths of their hearts like a gentle river. The attainment levels of these immortals started to rise. There is actually such an incredible killer move in this world, if I am not experiencing this personally, I will not be able to imagine it. This is the teaching of the sage is merciful and benevolent. Many GU immortals were so touched they shed tears on the spot, others knelt down on the ground, kowtowing to Fairy Yushu at the peak of the mountain. These were all non-standard GU immortals, but they were receiving the most traditional GU cultivation method now. They were all clear about how hard it was to raise attainment levels. This was truly an unprecedented fortuitous encounter for them. In this world, there are indeed other methods to raise attainment level other than dream realms. Human Path Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable had already made his arrangements to this degree. It is definitely not wrong for Heavenly Court to develop Human Path. Qin Dingling was very excited internally. Heavenly Court's members, with her at the lead, sat down together and closed their eyes to comprehend calmly. Fairy Yushu opened her eyes slightly, looking down below her with a glance. Sweat had gathered on her forehead, all the thoughts in her mind were used to sustain this move. Endless learning was a human path method of strategical value, its benefit for any superforce was huge beyond imagination. Its greatest advantage was that it did not expend the user's true meaning, it created true meaning in the mind of the targets instead. Rule Path and Wisdom Path GU immortals were more adept at extracting their own true meaning compared to other paths. When other GU cultivators take the true meaning, their attainment levels of the corresponding path would rise sharply. But the GU cultivator who extracted their true meaning would experience a fall in attainment level, the losses could not be regained. This was why true meaning was so rare in the world. Endless learning was a killer move that made use of Fairy Yushu's attainment level, the secluded domain of Heaven and Earth Book Mountain, as well as learning GU. This move could create new true meaning in the mind of the targets. Once the true meaning was created, it would be instantly absorbed by the GU cultivator and cause their relevant attainment level to rise. This was the greatest advantage of the killer move Endless Learning, it did not consume anyone's attainment level. But at the same time, this advantage was also its weakness. Because the true meaning created by the killer move had limitations. The limitations were the GU cultivator themselves. The GU cultivator's aptitude, talent, comprehension and personal experiences were conditions that restricted their production of true meaning. Attainment level profundity of the same level would vary across the different people who were comprehending them. If one reached their limit and could not comprehend the profundity, they would start to develop illusions. As expected, not long after, GU cultivators on Book Mountain started to see illusions. Some of them saw surging golden lotuses, some saw azure rain, some saw surging bloody water, some saw bone forests or rainbow-colored phoenixes that growled loudly. I can't persevere anymore. A moment later, someone spat out blood and fainted. More and more people followed. But some GU cultivators were still enduring. With this, the talent, personal experiences and comprehension of the GU cultivators were also clearly distinguished. But by the time, those among Qin Dingling's group started to waver as sweat appeared on their foreheads, about 90% of Green Lotus Dao Field's native GU immortals had already fallen. Even if these natives become GU immortals, they are still inferior to humans, who have the highest natural talent and intelligence. Fairy Yushu nodded to herself. After some observation, she had already gained a clear understanding of the strengths and weaknesses of the GU immortals from Green Lotus Dao Field. When Qin Dingling and the rest started to waver, the other GU cultivators on the mountain had already fainted. Bai Kang Shui fainted, Zhou Shangxin also fainted, followed by Zhen Shenguang. Eventually, only 3 heavenly court members were left. They were Qin Dingling, Che Wei, and Jiu Yufang Zhang. Brother. Jiu Yufang Zhang's eyes were filled with blood, he grunted before fainting. Thereafter, Qin Dingling smiled bitterly as she lost consciousness as well. Che Wei lasted until the end. Fairy Yushu nodded to herself, as expected of the creator of Weapon Path. I actually misjudged. Fairy Yushu's expression suddenly changed as she shifted her gaze from Che Wei to a meteor at the bottom of the mountain. This meteor was large as an elephant, it was also a GU immortal. Earlier, it had fallen into a state of semi-unconsciousness. Even Fairy Yushu did not expect that a certain strength would gather within the rock. At this point, the mystical strength reached its limit, there was a qualitative change occurring. Rumble. With a thunderous sound, the meteor shattered as golden light shined in all directions. From the piercing and blinding light, a rock monkey flew out. The rock monkey landed on the ground and scratched its ears, shouting, "Brilliant, truly brilliant." Plop. At the other end, Che Wei could no longer endure it, he fainted on the spot. Fairy Yushu's expression became even more peculiar. This rock monkey is born from heaven and earth, it is extraordinary. It even has incredible talent surpassing Che Wei. With such potential, it will definitely reach great heights in the future. Amazing, amazing, what a pity, what a pity. Fairy Yushu sighed continuously. She was referring to Limitless Demon Venerable when she said, amazing. Limitless Demon Venerable created Crazed Demon Cave, the derivation of New Heaven Path Dao marks went on for over 1,000,000 years, the results were huge. This rock monkey was the proof of it. This rock monkey's potential and comprehension ability even surpassed Heavenly Court's members, it defeated Che Wei. If this rock monkey was nurtured well and grew successfully, it might create its own path in the future. But this rock monkey was destined to have a pitiful ending, it could not live for long. It was meant to be Limitless Demon Venerable's sacrifice. Even Heavenly Court could not let it off. Because it was not a pure human. This was also why Fairy Yushu said, what a pity. The rock monkey lasted for a few more minutes before falling on the ground, unconscious. Fairy Yushu stopped using the killer move, she started to rest. Even though she did not consume her attainment level, the price of using this move was quite high. Be they thoughts, immortal essence, or her own lifespan, they were expended. Not long after, the GU immortals started to wake up. They started to cheer, unable to control themselves. Their attainment levels had all risen, the problems that they faced normally with killer moves or incomplete immortal GU recipes were all resolvable now. Many GU immortals even had new ideas regarding the modification of their current killer moves. Thank you, Sage, for imparting the Tao to us. Sage has unsurpassed virtue for imparting the Tao to us. The GU immortals knelt on the ground of their own will. Fairy Yushu smiled, her voice spreading throughout Book Mountain, before spreading to the entire Green Lotus world. 3 days later, I will hold another session to impart the Tao on Book Mountain again. The immortals were stunned, at the next moment, a thunderous cheer resounded. 3 days later, not only on Book Mountain itself, even a large number of GU masters gathered near the base of Book Mountain. GU masters could only surround Book Mountain but not ascend it. On the mountain base and the sides, many new GU immortals showed up. These GU immortals came from various small worlds. Hearing that a sage was imparting the Tao on Book Mountain, they came of their own accord to benefit from it. Fairy Yushu used endless learning again. As illusions started to show up, everyone saw different sights. I can see many flowers. So many pig heads are flying in the sky. Fairy, don't run, you can't escape from me. He he he. That rascal is dead meat, I'm telling you, even a GU immortal cannot save him. The man of my dreams is an unparalleled hero who will come and marry me while riding on a rainbow cloud, even though I am also a man. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2164 Ant Poison appears again. Chapter 2164, Ant Poison appears again. All sorts of illusions appeared. Soon, the GU masters outside of the mountain quickly fell unconscious one by one. Next, the ones on the mountain, those GU immortals who had attended the previous session also fainted in succession. During the first session, they had already reached their limits. After just 3 days, the growth of their foundation was very limited. Even Heavenly Court's members were no exception. After them were the various mutant GU immortals of the small worlds. They had deep foundations and this was their first time attending the Tao lesson. Fairy Yushu expressed her surprise again. Among these mutant GU immortals, she found another genius this time. It was a lump of deep green-colored tornado. It persevered until the end. The aptitude and comprehension ability it displayed was equally matched with the rock monkey. When this tornado GU immortal fell unconscious, Fairy Yushu also stopped using her killer move. By the time they awakened, she announced again, 3 days later, the next session will be held. For the third Tao lesson, even more GU immortals came. Not only the mutants of the various small worlds, even Savage Wilderness Great Worlds and Yellow Earth Great Worlds GU immortals came. Eventually, the one who lasted until the end was a lizard GU immortal. This immortal came from Savage Wilderness Great World. Its aptitude was on par with the rock monkey and tornado. They were extraordinarily talented. Fairy Yushu conducted 3 Tao lessons in total. The influence was not just kept in the 3 great worlds, it even spread to the remaining small worlds. Not only the small worlds at the boundaries of the 3 great worlds, but even many other small worlds that were currently being drawn to the central area. Fairy Yushu achieved her goal. The effect was evident. Their impression on the various GU immortals of Green Lotus Grand World improved greatly. Many GU immortals chose to join them. Yushu chose 3 leaders from among them. They were the rock monkey Bu Tian Kong, the tornado immortal Ni Kuang Feng, and finally, the lizard GU immortal from Savage Wilderness Great World, Duan Hu. But a large number of GU immortals still chose to watch on the fence. These GU immortals mostly came from small worlds. Their worlds were still moving now. They had not landed near the 3 great worlds yet. Since this change occurred in the void, the unification of the worlds cannot be avoided. We need to find a good allegiance. Indeed, we are all rulers of our small world. We can influence where we end up to a certain extent. Green Lotus Great World's sage gave a Tao lesson. I wonder if the other 2 world sages will do the same. Unavoidably, these GU immortals started to hold expectations. A capable person will often choose to find a capable leader. Even though they were native GU immortals that were not human, they had ample intelligence and were quite astute. From Fairy Yushu's Tao lessons, they sensed that she was trying to recruit them. The 3 great worlds were in heated conflict. The amount of losses was huge and severe. It was the stage for them to shine on. They even started to spread the word. If the other 2 great worlds do not give such a benefit, we will join Green Lotus Great World. The 3 great worlds have existed for so long. Green Lotus Great World's sage imparted wisdom on everyone. They are truly magnanimous and benevolent. I am sure that the other 2 world sages are the same. We will join whichever world gives the greatest benefits. These GU immortals wanted to gain the most benefits for themselves. As for which world they would end up joining, they can decide that after getting the benefits. The situation changed abruptly. Lu Weiyin quickly went to Fang Yuan for a discussion. Lu Weiyin sighed. Currently, Heavenly Court has the initiative again. After cooperating with Longevity Heaven, we managed to destabilize Heavenly Court's advantage over us, but with Fairy Yushu's Tao lessons, all our efforts ended up in vain. But thankfully, the situation is salvageable. How should we go on to recruit those GU immortals who are still on the fence? Fang Yuan was silent. These mutant GU immortals who were still roaming around were top-tier cannon fodder. Heavenly Court's recruitment of them was a great move. Fairy Yushu's method also expanded Fang Yuan's horizons. Learning GU endless learning. Other than the Dream Realm, this was the first time Fang Yuan saw a killer move capable of directly raising attainment levels. In the 500 years of his previous life, he had no recollection of such a killer move. From what he gathered and from Lu Weiyin's information, there was no warning or hint that such a killer move existed. This meant that the killer move was likely a new creation of Heavenly Court. Heavenly Court had deep foundation and countless elites who progressed and developed with time. Lu Weiyin looked at Fang Yuan as he said, "This killer move is extraordinary. It can raise the power of an entire force. Attainment level is very hard to raise. Even I am slightly moved by Heavenly Court's offer. There is also something more worrying. Within less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than, there are records that Ren Zhu and the other 2 went into primordial domain using true meaning. Heavenly Court possesses the killer move endless learning. This means that they have a method of creating true meaning that is unique in this world. This method might allow them to enter primordial domain earlier than others, or even like Book Mountain, they might be able to obtain primordial domain from the 9th layer." Fang Yuan nodded slightly. Lu Weiyin was very astute. All of his words made sense. Primordial domain was the key factor in the conflict of the three parties. Even if a Venerable revives successfully, to become a true Tao Lord again, they need to rely on primordial domain. One could say that whoever obtains primordial domain first would gain the greatest advantage, they would become the eventual winner of this fight. Fang Yuan pondered. Endless learning is truly incredible and useful, but we also have a strategic level killer move ourselves. I have already used it. Lu Weiyin's expression turned to joy as he guessed. That lingering poisonous ant plague killer move. Fang Yuan nodded while adding, I used this move in Eastern Sea before, let's see how Heavenly Court deals with it. Other than that, we need to keep an eye on Longevity Heaven. I am quite curious about their following actions. Lu Weiyin thought about it and added, Lord, since you have already used lingering poisonous ant plague, we should take the initiative to attack and exert pressure. When Heavenly Court is busy dealing with it, they will not have the time or energy to resist this move. Fang Yuan had already shut his eyes. You can go handle this matter. I want to deduce the Paradise Earth true inheritance here. Lu Weiyin immediately took his leave. His best idea was to communicate with Longevity Heaven and attack in unison. After getting Lu Weiyin's invitation, Longevity Heaven did not hesitate, they cooperated smoothly. The truth was, their pressure was higher. Many GU Immortals defected from Savage Wilderness Great World to Green Lotus Great World, even more than Yellow Earth Great World. The most famous among them was Duan Hu. This rank 8 expert was very famous in Savage Wilderness Great World. With him taking the lead to join Heavenly Court, the influence on Longevity Heaven was dire. Days later, Longevity Heaven and Fang Yuan sent out their troops again to attack Green Lotus Great World. In the sky, GU Immortals fought intensely. Kill. Golden Fur Immortal Monarch held 2 large hammers on both hands as he attacked aggressively. He was covered in thick golden fur. He had many immortal GU and killer moves, allowing his defense to be tight. He had no worries about charging forward. The formation of Heavenly Court's mutant GU Immortals were disrupted many times because of him. Don't be too arrogant. A childlike Woodpath GU Immortal with grass growing on his head gritted his teeth as he blocked Golden Fur Immortal Monarch. Golden Fur Immortal Monarch's advancement was halted. He fought against this immortal. After dozens of rounds, there was no clear victor. HMPH. I am Grasshead Child. I was born with an immortal GU. I am blessed with great fortune. You have immortal GU, but my immortal GU are also not fewer than yours. This Woodpath GU Immortal shouted with a confident disposition. Suddenly, his expression became distorted as his body started twisting around. So itchy. Suddenly, Grasshead Child could not endure the intense feeling. Wave of ants crawled out of his body, piercing his grass skin. What is going on? What are these things? Grasshead Child was shocked. He quickly retreated. Ha ha ha, where are you going? Golden Fur Immortal Monarch saw the chance and chased relentlessly. Grasshead Child was hit by the killer move Lingering Poisonous Ant Plague. He was greatly distracted and lost his momentum. After several rounds, he was smashed into pulp by Golden Fur Immortal Monarch's hammer, dying on the spot. Similar scenes were occurring to the other mutant GU Immortals. With the activation of Lingering Poisonous Ant Plague, the situation was immediately changed. Originally, Heavenly Court had many mutant GU Immortals. They were able to enter a deadlock with Fang Yuan's subordinates who were better equipped, but now that their immortal apertures were getting attacked, they lost all their morale. They had no will to fight. Run. Why are there ants on my body as well? Don't kill me, I surrender. The formation collapsed entirely. Fang Yuan's subordinates chased after them and obtained great results. This is the outcome for siding with Green Lotus Great World. All the GU Immortals who sided with them faced the judgment of Lingering Poisonous Ant Plague. Kill all the captives. Our master has given orders, we will not accept them. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch and the rest cheered loudly, resounding in the entire battlefield. They worked with another group from Longevity Heaven, making great advances and forcing Heavenly Court's mutant GU Immortals to run in fear, unable to retaliate. The defeated mutant GU Immortals found that they could not resolve Lingering Poisonous Ant Plague killer move. They had to rush to Book Mountain and kneel towards the peak, requesting for the sage's help. At the peak of Book Mountain, Qin Dingling frowned. Fang Yuan used that move after all. If we cannot resolve it, our great advantage is going to be lost entirely. Many of the mutant GU Immortals were still watching in anticipation. If Green Lotus Great World was too weak, even if the benefits were huge, they would not join them. After all, great benefits were pointless unless one had sufficient lifespan to enjoy them. At this moment, Fairy Yu Shu defended Book Mountain while Fairy Ming Hao went to the front lines, preventing Longevity Heaven's troops from causing any more trouble. Fairy Yu Shu was also quite troubled. you have already given us the information of this lingering poisonous ant plague killer move. This is quite an impressive move. It contains poison path, enslavement path, refinement path, wood path, food path, and even heaven path profundity. It contains heaven path profundity. Qin Dingling was deeply shocked. No wonder Eastern Sea's Righteous Qi Alliance can only alleviate the effects of this move but not remove it completely. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2165, Operation of Heaven and Earth. Chapter 2165, Operation of Heaven and Earth. Peak of Book Mountain. Regarding Fang Yuan's lingering poisonous ant plague, Fairy Yu Shu explained, thankfully, this move had already been used in Eastern Sea before. You also made Zui Xian Weng infiltrate Righteous Qi Alliance and obtained first-hand information about it. Thus, I am prepared against it. But the current lingering poisonous ant plague has been modified by Fang Yuan. My original method isn't going to be suitable, I need to modify it as well. Qin Dingling heard this as her expression eased up slightly. That will be good. Fairy Yu Shu smiled. I only need 3 days to succeed. During this period, Heavenly Court can spread the news regarding lingering poisonous ant plague to everyone. Qin Dingling acknowledged and left. Not long after, the mutant GU Immortals learned of the situation. They became very angry. Yellow Earth Great World's Sage is truly too vicious. I've heard that Yellow Earth Great World's GU Immortals are united and harmonious. To think that their sage is such a vicious person, this is really a huge disappointment to everyone. In comparison, Green Lotus Great World's Sage is really magnanimous. They have the disposition of a sage. Even Savage Wilderness Great World's Sage pales in comparison. The observing GU Immortals were very disappointed. They waited for so long but neither Longevity Heaven nor Fang Yuan gave the response that they wanted. They gained nothing from waiting. Yellow Earth Great World and Savage Wilderness Great World directly sent their troops and started the war. These mutant GU Immortals were very disappointed, but they also started to get angrier. The sages of these two great worlds are acting like this. Are they not afraid that we will join Green Lotus Great World? HMPH, the sages of these two worlds are too high and mighty. Forget it, I will join Green Lotus Great World instead. All of the observing mutant GU Immortals chose to join Heavenly Court. Heavenly Court's wisdom path method is quite formidable. The emotions of these mutant GU Immortals were influenced. According to what I know, many GU Immortals made the decision to join Heavenly Court in a spurt of anger. Lu Weiyin sighed as he explained to Fang Yuan. Heavenly Court first spread information of Fang Yuan's vicious method before helping the mutant GU Immortals resolve their lingering poisonous ant plague without asking for compensation. Finally, they even used a method to influence the emotions of these mutant GU Immortals. After this series of actions, not only did they alleviate lingering poisonous ant plague's terrifying effect, they even retaliated and caused Fang Yuan and Longevity Heaven's position to be worse than before. Currently, Heavenly Court has recruited many mutant GU Immortals. Their advantage in numbers is increasingly evident. Should we recall our troops at the front lines? Lu Weiyin asked. Fang Yuan smiled as he waved his hand. Heavenly Court is formidable. According to my deduction, this mysterious wisdom path killer move contains heaven path profundity too. It is similar to Heaven's will and has the ability to influence the thoughts and emotions of living beings. Lingering poisonous ant plague has been troubling the Righteous Qi Alliance, but Heavenly Court managed to resolve this move so easily. In fact, I even modified this move once again. However, Longevity Heaven is taking action now. Let's watch and see before making a decision. Gu Tu Luan was one of the mutant GU Immortals who joined Heavenly Court. After making the agreement with Heavenly Court, she traveled through the void and returned to her small world. Using several days, she set up an immortal formation. This immortal formation was Heavenly Court's reinforcement. After activating it, it could influence the travel route of the small world, allowing it to land on the boundary of Green Lotus Great World. Green Lotus Great World's Sage is truly unfathomable. This immortal formation is amazing and has huge power, but the expended immortal essence is so little. Gu Tu Luan praised internally as she activated the immortal formation. The immortal formation burst out with profound light, spreading from the inside to the outside of the small world. The small world had always been moving towards the center of the void, but under the effect of the immortal formation, it started to change its trajectory slightly. After several breaths of time, Gu Tu Luan's expression turned to shock. What is going on? I activated the immortal formation, but the small world is uncontrollable. It is forcefully moving towards another direction. Is the immortal formation ineffective? Gu Tu Luan quickly checked and was shocked to find out. it was not that the immortal formation was useless, but a profound force had been influencing her small world from long ago. Compared to this vast force, the immortal formation had no strength to counter it. Gu Tuluan could only watch as her homeland flew and landed on the boundary of savage wilderness great world. This was not a unique situation, many small worlds were influenced and landed on savage wilderness great world, while others were still on their way. Gu Tuluan and the other mutant Gu immortals were stunned. They joined Green Lotus Great World, but their own small worlds ended up in Savage Wilderness Great World. They would definitely be absorbed by Savage Wilderness Great World and fuse into it. This is the method of Savage Wilderness Great World Sage. Unbelievable, that sage already took action long ago. He is actually able to attract all the small worlds. Only those small worlds at the periphery were spared. What do we do? Many Gu immortals were starting to feel regret. Had they known this, they would not have joined Green Lotus Great World so quickly. Peak of Book Mountain. This is Giant Sun's Heaven and Earth Luck Method. Qin Dingling sighed. Fate is fixed while luck is a variable. Longevity Heaven disregarded the cost and brought luck suppression Heavenly Palace here. They have already started to influence the heaven and earth luck of the 8th layer of Crazed Demon Cave. Thus, these small worlds were all drawn to them. It is a venerable method after all. Fairy Yushu sighed. Even though they could understand Longevity Heaven's method, they had no way of resolving it. Not only because Longevity Heaven was superior to Heavenly Court in terms of luck path methods, but because this method was used by Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace. To resolve it, they had to destroy the palace. And Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace had been hiding deep within Savage Wilderness Great World. Now that pseudo-venerables could not use their full strength, who could reach it and destroy it? Heavenly Court had no answer, they could only sit and wait. This way, Heavenly Court gathered most of the mutant Gu immortals. They had advantage in numbers. Longevity Heaven obtained most of the small worlds. Savage Wilderness Great World was growing and expanding rapidly. Only Fang Yuan's side was the weakest. During this period, not only did they not recruit many mutant Gu immortals, they also failed to get many small worlds. Heavenly Court started to instruct the mutant Gu immortals to retaliate. The front lines that went deep into Green Lotus Great World started to be pushed away outwards again. Gu masters gathered into armies, fighting and killing all over the battlefield. Immortals fought in the air. It was an intense battle. Rock Monkey Butn Kong roamed unhindered. With a sudden roar, it vanished on the spot. This move again. Bing Zhou's eyelids were twitching. He quickly looked around him. Where will he show up? But Butn Kong did not attack Bing Zhou. It teleported behind Shizong instead. Take my fist. Butn Kong shouted. Shizong quickly defended himself, but his defensive killer move was quickly broken through. Butn Kong's fist pierced Shizong's chest, protruding out of his back. Butn Kong snickered. Its body shook as a killer move was activated. Shizong exploded and shattered into pieces that flew everywhere. Shizong and Bing Zhou were rank 8 Gu immortals, while Butn Kong also had rank 8 cultivation level. To think that he managed to kill Shizong while going up against 2 opponents. No matter what formation this is, I will send it flying. At the other end, Ni Kuangfeng, who was inside the rotting smell vicious cloud formation, shouted. The 6 Eggman Gu immortals from Rotten Egg Grotto Heaven formed into the ancient battle formation Rotting Smell Vicious Cloud as they trapped Ni Kuangfeng for some time. At this point, they were unable to hold on anymore as the latter broke out from within. The 6 Eggman Gu immortals spat out blood in response. They were either dead or injured. And on another battlefield, Duan who fought against Lu Tonglan. Lu Tonglan was the desolate extremity of the 8 extremities, but she actually fell into a disadvantage. Duan whose attacks were powerful and wild, its body was tough like a mountain. When colliding, it felt like one was colliding with the world itself. Lu Tonglan's Blue Phoenix Totem Killer move was almost destroyed in the fight. These 3 immortals were born with immense innate luck. They are the luck children of Crazed Demon Cave's 8th layer. Originally, Yellow Earth Great World should have produced such an expert too. It is a pity. Fang Yuan understood the reason behind these 3 immortals' existence. He casted his gaze at Paradise Earth's tomb. Using Luck Inspection Killer move, he saw that this Paradise Earth's tomb had immense luck that resembled a yellow soil mountain. It was unmoving and incredibly dense. These days, with their losses at the front lines, many of Fang Yuan's subordinates also died. But Fang Yuan remained calm as ice. These fatalities were just numbers to him. The longer this dragged on, the more advantageous it was for him. Fang Yuan had already comprehended a lot of the profundities regarding Paradise Earth's tomb. In the past he did not have the ability to create his own tomb Earth. But now, he could create a huge graveyard in the sovereign immortal aperture to act as a node of the earth vein. Most of Fang Yuan's time and energy were spent comprehending the refinement path profundity here. Ordinary GU immortals refined immortal GU, while limitless demon Venerable refined the worlds of heaven and earth. This gap in refinement path was now quickly filled up by Fang Yuan, he was even gaining huge results from it. At the same time, Fang Yuan gained a deeper and clearer understanding of limitless demon Venerable's arrangements. It is time, Fang Yuan muttered lightly, he gazed afar with his deep abyss-like eyes. Crack, a shocking flash of lightning landed on the battlefield. The immortals on the battlefield were shocked. In an instant, lightning bolts crashed down like a forest, the immortals had to stop and retreat immediately. Thereafter, tribulations of various intensity rained down like a torrent, occurring to all three great worlds and their boundaries. At the peak of Book Mountain, Qin Dingling was shocked, what is going on? After making some deductions, Fairy Yushu explained confidently, this is limitless demon Venerable's method, so it turns out that when the fusion of worlds reach a certain stage, tribulations will befall. At the same time, Fang Yuan's gaze focused on these tribulations that were extremely far away. Waves of comprehension emerged in the depth of his mind. All tribulations are superb methods in refining heaven and earth. GU immortals manage their immortal aperture, under normal circumstances, their main source of Dao marks come from tribulations. When GU immortals successfully pass a tribulation, they would gain a large number of Dao marks. These Dao marks will modify the immortal aperture and cause the environment to change, this is the refinement of heaven and earth. By expanding this logic, all tribulations were refinement path methods. Fang Yuan smiled lightly. At this point, the refinement path profundity regarding the refinement of the world and heaven and earth had already been comprehended by him to a large extent. Earlier, my luck gave me an indication. Now is the time to use that move. Fang Yuan started to activate Heaven's Envy Immortal GU. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2166 Heaven Envies Heroic Geniuses. Chapter 2166, Heaven Envies Heroic Geniuses. The sky was in chaos, GU immortals fought intensely everywhere. Wild winds blew, wind blades shot all over the place. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch paused for a moment, his body was surrounded by wind blades from all directions. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch's square face was covered in frost, he snorted coldly, he shot out immense crystal frost chi that destroyed all the wind blades. But at the next moment, Ni Kuangfeng suddenly arrived right before him. Ni Kuangfeng was a green tornado to begin with, it condensed into a ball and burst out with a terrifying suction force. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch wanted to dodge but it was too late, he was trapped by the tornado, unable to escape for the moment. Oh no, Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch's expression changed. It was too late to use Extreme Ice Crystal Light Immortal Suppression Coffin now. Normally speaking, the stronger the killer move, the longer the time needed to use it. When fighting against Ni Kuangfeng, Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch could not find the time or opportunity to use this move. At the crucial moment, this move could no longer be used. During a deadlock, using this move would expose weaknesses for the enemy to exploit. Even if he used it, with the enemy on guard, the effect would not be decisive either. This is my signature killer move, Wind Suction Life Twister. I spent 30 years to painstakingly create it, before spending 100 years to modify it. Nobody has ever survived against this move, you will be no exception. Ni Kuangfeng laughed wildly. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch's expression was grim, it was too late to dodge now, he could only activate his defensive killer moves desperately. Ah! Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch cried out in pain. First, his arms were absorbed into Ni Kuangfeng's body, even though they were covered in thick ice crystals, they only lasted for a few moments before disintegrating. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch's arms were directly shredded into particles. Next was Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch's body. I am finished. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch felt despair at this moment, but suddenly, a bolt of black lightning shot down. Ni Kuangfeng was directly hit and suffered a huge blow, its suction force stopped for a moment. The speed of Ni Kuangfeng's wind ball tornado fell greatly, within the green wind, there was a large area of black ink-like color that got corrupted. Damn it, tribulations appeared again. Ni Kuangfeng gritted its teeth. Since several days ago, tribulations started to occur at all corners of the various great worlds. Especially places with more GU immortals, they would encounter more tribulations. Now that there were many GU immortals fighting intensely on the battlefield, it was not strange to have many tribulations occurring here. Ni Kuangfang's attention was drawn to Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch again. Die. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch tried his best to break free, but he could not get away from Ni Kuangfang's suction force. He was pulled into Ni Kuangfang's body inch by inch. I am finished. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch felt despair at this moment once again, but suddenly, a bolt of black lightning shot down. Crack! The black lightning bolt landed on Ni Kuangfang. Ni Kuangfang froze again. The black color in the green wind tornado became denser. This tribulation is so strong, it can actually cause such injuries to me. Ni Kuangfang sighed, growling at Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch, but you cannot escape, your life is mine. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch was sucked into the tornado again. It seems that my life is really going to end here. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch sighed again, but at this moment, a bolt of black lightning shot down on Ni Kuangfang. Ni Kuangfang's movements froze, the tornado twisted and almost seemed like it would explode. What happened? What is going on with this tribulation? Why did it hit me 3 times in a row? I am so close to Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch, yet it did not even hit him once. Is his luck that good? I don't believe it. I'll suck him in with me. Crack! Black lightning shot down, landing on Ni Kuangfang. Ni Kuangfang refused to believe its luck. I'll do it again. Crack! I do not believe it. I'll draw him in. Crack! 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 Ni Kuangfang could not take it anymore. As black lightning bolts continued to shoot down, they landed on his head without any deviation. Ni Kuangfang's body almost collapsed. It could not draw in Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch anymore. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch took the chance to retreat, quickly getting away from Ni Kuangfang. I actually survived. What in the world is going on? Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch was lucky to survive. He was filled with disbelief and surprise. Far away, black lightning continued to land on Ni Kuangfang. No matter where Ni Kuangfang went, black lightning seemed to target it specifically. No, not only black lightning, soon, tribulations like blood dragons and gray spirits also went to approach Ni Kuangfang. Ni Kuangfang was going crazy. At this moment, it felt like the entire world was going against it. Of course, tribulations also landed on other GU immortals, but Ni Kuangfang experienced the most animosity from these tribulations. While Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch healed himself, he observed and found another person who faced the same situation as Ni Kuangfang. It was Rock Monkey Butn Kong. This unlucky monkey was currently fighting against several rank 8 GU immortals like Solid Rock Warrior. Countless bats and white flying cranes attacked him, disrupting the Rock Monkey's attacks and causing it to lose momentum. Even though Solid Rock Warrior and the rest were also affected by the tribulations, they were less targeted and found an opportunity to retaliate fiercely. The Rock Monkey was very troubled. In this situation, it could only turn from offensive to defensive. Peak of Book Mountain. What is going on? Qin Dingling stood up. Her expression had changed. Book Mountain was an information path secluded domain of heaven and earth. Because of Heavenly Court's method, it had been collecting the information of the 2 battlefields. Thus, even though Qin Dingling stayed at the headquarters, she quickly observed many of the changes in the battlefields. Currently, Heavenly Court's troops had already moved into Savage Wilderness Great World and Yellow Earth Great World. The tribulations in Savage Wilderness Great World were quite low regardless of strength or quantity. Green Lotus Great World had an ordinary number of tribulations. But Yellow Earth Great World was clearly abnormal. Not only were they more severe, they even targeted Ni Kuangfang and Butn Kong. What is going on here? Qin Dingling was uncertain and shocked. Fairy Yushu had started her deduction long ago. After getting the result, she said, "Amazing move, this should be Fang Yuan's work. This mysterious killer move can actually amplify calamities and tribulations of heaven and earth, prioritizing the targets that have the most outstanding aptitude and talent." Ni Kuangfang and Butn Kong represent the small worlds and Green Lotus Great World respectively. They are 2 of those who have the greatest innate luck among all the inhabitants of Crazed Demon Cave's 8th layer. Thus, they were targeted specifically. Saying this, Fairy Yushu's expression suddenly changed. This killer move's range is increasing rapidly. It has already arrived here. Oh no. Qin Dingling's expression changed yet again as she raised her head to look up. Above Book Mountain, tribulation clouds rumbled, covering the entire sky with endless thick layers of over 10,000 li of space. The tribulations are still intensifying. What is going on? Qin Dingling gritted her teeth. Even someone like her felt a terrifying might from the tribulation clouds above her. Fairy Yushu's expression was grim. This tribulation is targeting Fairy Fengya. She possesses talent GU. She has been in closed cultivation to deduce limitless demon Venerable's arrangement to the best of her abilities. When Wisdom Path GU Immortals made deductions, they were also exposing themselves. Thus, heaven and earth detected Fairy Feng Ya's existence, it started to create a tribulation to exterminate her. Fang Yuan's mysterious killer move actually makes use of Limitless Demon Venerable's arrangement to attack our heavenly court, he is really vicious. Qin Dingling said in anger. Lady Yu Shu, please allow me to bring Divine Emperor City to the front lines and find trouble with Fang Yuan so that he cannot use this move casually. No, that is exactly what Fang Yuan wants to see. Fairy Yu Shu shook her head and said with a firm attitude, the key now is to protect Fairy Feng Ya. We will gather our formation and resist the tribulation, we will give Fairy Feng Ya the most optimal environment to make deductions. At almost the same time, in Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace. Immortal Zombie Giant Sun also sensed Fang Yuan's method, he praised in amazement. This method contains heaven path profundity, it is truly out of my expectations that Fang Yuan seems to be cultivating heaven path. I wonder what the name of this move is. HMPH. Desolate Extremity Zhao Huo said in displeasure. Fang Yuan has already allied with us, yet he is using this move on our savage wilderness great world as well, causing our subordinates to face its effects too. Immortal Zombie Giant Sun smiled lightly. When we made the alliance agreement, he had already considered this, thus he used the loophole and is not breaking our alliance. After all, this move is mainly targeting the GU Immortal Duanhu. But our GU Immortals are being weakened by the tribulation, that is the truth. Zhao Huo said. Immortal Zombie Giant Sun nodded, his gaze turning deeper, he is forcing me to take action. Ha ha ha, very interesting, then I shall make my move to deal with this method. Master. All the GU Immortals in the hall shouted in concern. Immortal Zombie Giant Sun waved his hand. Don't worry, the Fate War has ended for a long time already, my strength has been recovering steadily. Moreover, I am taking action now not just to deal with Fang Yuan's killer move but also to participate in the operations of the worlds, I want to observe Limitless Demon Venerable's arrangements more deeply. At the next moment, Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace shot out with a beam of light soaring to the sky, it was grand and powerful, shining in golden radiance. Very good, Longevity Heaven took action already. Fang Yuan soon sensed the commotion at Savage Wilderness Great World. He looked over there, his gaze crossing a huge distance as he analyzed Savage Wilderness Great World. Longevity Heaven had a trump card indeed. At this moment, Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace activated and surged with Luck Path Aura. This effect mixed into the operations of the worlds, combining with Limitless Demon Venerable's arrangements to hasten the fusion of the small worlds. No, there is also the method of all living beings' luck in use. Longevity Heaven's subordinate mutant GU Immortals are being taken care of, they are facing less pressure from the tribulations now. Fang Yuan observed for some time and gained great insights. At his current level, he could already gain comprehension of other paths using his own as a foundation. Right now, by just observing a move from Immortal Zombie Giant Sun, Fang Yuan could deduce a lot of the profundity of all living beings' luck in heaven and earth luck. The move that Fang Yuan activated was called Heaven Envy's Heroic Geniuses, it used Heaven's Envy Immortal GU as the core and targeted those people with outstanding talents. Originally, Fang Yuan wanted to use this move on Venerables, but now, it was unleashed at a superb timing, it complemented Limitless Demon Venerable's arrangements and used his power to allow this move to spread out across the various great worlds, amplifying its strength. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2167 Wooden Statue Lord Wu Guang. Chapter 2167 Wooden Statue Lord Wu Guang. It rained not long ago. The sky of northern plains was pale white, it looked extremely clear. A GU Immortal lowered his altitude, he was only tens of feet above the ground, flying rapidly as he scanned the area below him, seeming trying to find something. This GU Immortal was bare-chested, his body was well-proportioned and his muscles were bulging. He has an ordinary face, a sharp nose and pursed lips, giving the impression of a man with perseverance. He looked at the ground with lush-growing grass, a field of green filled his vision. But observing closely, he found that the ground below the grass were cracked and shattered, there was something going on here. Because the Northern Plains GU Immortal had sensed something amiss here, he came to investigate. Now, he had already inspected the range of 100 li. Suddenly, a green shadow flashed in the crack of the ground. Found you. The Northern Plains GU Immortal's eyes shined, he flew down rapidly with a gray shadow around him, he was filled with determination like an eagle hunting its prey. Rumble. The Northern Plains GU Immortal directly crashed into the ground, causing a huge explosion. Rocks flew while grass swayed in the air from the shock wave. The GU Immortal hit the target with one attack. At the next moment, his pupils contracted. The ground cracked open, revealing a huge body below the topsoil. It resembled a huge yellow dragon. But looking closely, it was not a dragon but a huge trunk of a ginseng. The ginseng trunk was yellow in color, covered in wrinkles and gave people a feeling of great strength. Even though it was attacked, the ginseng trunk exploded with terrifying power, as if a giant dragon was turning over its body. Boom, boom, the surrounding ground was cracked again, grass and soil splattered. The Northern Plains GU Immortal was sent flying by this action. He flew up into the sky and saw the entirety of the ginseng. In the surrounding 100 li of area, yellowish ginseng roots were protruding out of the soil. It looked like a forest had appeared. Several hundred roots that resembled yellow dragons attacked the Northern Plains GU Immortal in a frenzy. The GU Immortal took a deep breath. Gray shadows appeared around his body. Under the cover of the gray shadows, his figure became blurred like a shadow. He alternated between intangible and solid. As the ginseng roots landed on his body, they passed through like he was an illusion. There was no effect. The Northern Plains GU Immortal was like the moon in the lake. No matter how the water rippled, he was completely unaffected. The GU Immortal thus regained his footing and started to prepare his offensive method. As the killer move was unleashed, greenish-gray wooden spikes with the size of ancient trees stabbed into the ginseng roots, pinning them to the ground. The GU Immortal continued to use this move as the surrounding ginseng roots fell in number. What a good thing! The Northern Plains GU Immortal was called Wu Guang. He was a rank 7 Woodpath GU Immortal, titled Wooden Statue Lord. He observed the ginseng roots for some time, his gaze becoming increasingly heated. This yellowish ginseng was a mysterious product. Even the Woodpath cultivator Wu Guang did not know much about it. But this was quite a common situation. After the 5 regions merged, earth veins rumbled and chi tides surged. A vast quantity of cultivation resources appeared one by one, among which were many strange and mysterious things. This ancient desolate plant was one of them. It was found by Wooden Statue Lord Wu Guang by chance. This gigantic ginseng had extraordinary value. If Wu Guang could successfully obtain it, it would be a profitable source of revenue in the long run. But it was not easy to subdue a wild ancient desolate plant, compared to those desolate plants who were cultivated from saplings. Subduing an ancient desolate plant required enslavement path methods. This was not Wu Guang's expertise. But he was not asking for much now. He wanted to kill the giant ginseng and get a huge quantity of immortal materials. Problems would arise if this dragged on. He was currently in the territory of the Huangjin bloodline tribes. If they found him, the lone immortal Wu Guang would not reap any gains. Immortal killer move, decaying wooden death. After the roots surrounding Wu Guang thinned to a certain extent, Wu Guang pushed with both palms. A loud explosion could be heard. A gray light pillar shot through the sky, landing on the trunk of the ginseng. On the ginseng trunk, a huge hole was formed. It got instantly pierced by the light pillar. The roots that were still attacking Wu Guang seemed to have lost all their strength. They fell to the ground like feeble insects, no longer having their strength like before. It is over. Wu Guang smiled lightly, but suddenly, his expression changed. Rumble. At the next moment, the ground shook intensely like heaven and earth was flipping around. 1,000 ginseng roots appeared at once. They were tall and mighty, each being over 100 feet in height. Roots filled the entire place as their shadow cast down on Wu Guang's body. Wu Guang was greatly shocked to realize that the ginseng trunk he perceived earlier was merely a larger branch of the entire plant. This ancient desolate plant likely has tens of thousands of years of history. It is very close to rank 8. It is at the peak of an ancient desolate plant. Wu Guang was deeply shook. Countless roots slammed down. Wu Guang quickly dodged them. But right at this moment, the wild immortal GU living in a certain part of the ginseng burst out with power, causing Wu Guang's speed to fall rapidly. Wu Guang was hit by many roots at the same time. At the crucial moment, the gray shadows appeared again. 1,000 ginseng roots rampaged like huge whips, cracking the air as they moved, creating huge shock waves. Wu Guang's body shook intensely. His immortal essence expenditure was very high. Oh no, Wu Guang could sense the aura of death. At this rate, his immortal essence storage was going to be emptied. Even though he relied on a defensive method and managed to stay alive, this defensive killer move had a huge flaw. Once activated, the GU Immortal could not move. They had to stay at the same spot. Wu Guang fell into danger again. The situation changed too quickly. At the next moment, he was at the brink of life and death. Wu Guang was feeling bitter internally. He had been too overconfident. He did not investigate the situation more clearly. As a matter of fact, the ginseng had been moving underground. It was not easy for Wu Guang to find it and force it to come to the surface. If he had to make a thorough investigation, by the time he finished, the ginseng would have escaped into the ground already. It is too late to say anything now, to think that I, Wu Guang, would die in the hands of an ancient desolate plant. As his immortal essence dried out, Wu Guang started to feel despair. Roar! Right at this moment, a fierce tiger attacked. The tiger was black in color and gave off a metallic luster. It was huge like a mountain and had sharp and powerful claws. It easily tore the ginseng roots to shreds. It was extraordinarily fierce. What ancient desolate beast is this? No, wait, this is a killer move. Wu Guang stared with wide eyes, feeling surprised and curious. The black tiger fought against the ginseng roots. The two were stuck in a deadlock, being evenly matched. Rumble. At the next moment, the ground shook again. The ginseng roots suddenly straightened before falling to the ground with a loud thud, no longer moving again. What? This mysterious ancient desolate plant got killed by someone in one move. Wu Guang was shocked. His internal worry became much deeper. Often, humans were much scarier than beasts or plants. Wu Guang did not need to think to know that the Gu Immortal who killed the ancient desolate plant was very strong, extremely strong. Once Wu Guang escaped death, he saw a green-robed Gu Immortal. Wu Guang knew this person. He immediately cupped his fists. So it was you who saved my life, Chen Chang. Gu Immortal Chen Chang waved his hand. I was only assisting. The one who saved your life is my master. Master, whose servant did you become? Wu Guang was shocked. At this moment, the ground cracked as a figure flew up into the sky. Wu Guang stared with wide eyes at this female immortal. She wore a half mask that covered the lower half of her face. Her brows were sharp and her eyes shined with brilliant light. She wore a black gold armor with an aura of domination around her, intimidating her foes. The one who entered the ground to kill the mysterious ginseng was He Lu Lan. Roar! The black tiger roared as it returned to her, turning into a tattoo on He Lu Lan's skin. It was the totem killer move, Dark Capital Strength Tiger. Wu Guang had never seen this move or even heard of it. Upon seeing this sight, his shock intensified. He Lu Lan looked down at him at an angle. I saved you, how will you repay me? Wu Guang's body shook. He quickly expressed his gratitude. I will not forget the debt of saving my life. I wonder what I can do for you. As long as you tell me, I will do my best to complete your request. But He Lu Lan laughed as she looked at Chen Chang. I see that you are acquainted with him. What use does this person have? Chen Chang. Master, we are heading to Crescent Moon Mound to challenge Yin Wuke. This person has a close relationship with him. He can lead the way. Wu Guang quickly added. I am acquainted with Brother Yin, but the challenge. Chen Chang smiled as he explained. Master succeeded in her cultivation. She came out of seclusion to challenge the experts of the world. She wants to face off against the various geniuses. I lost to her and according to the agreement, I became her servant. Wu Guang took in a deep breath. So that's it. He was hesitant. Yin Wuke was his good friend. If he had to lead this expert to his friend for a fight, regardless of result, he would feel very troubled. But He Lu Lan did not care about Wu Guang's feelings. She said, lead the way. Wu Guang shook internally. He Lu Lan's tone was filled with dominance that did not allow rejection. Wu Guang was sure that if he defied her, he would end up like the ginseng earlier. Please follow me, benefactor and Chen Chang. Wanting to preserve his own life, Wu Guang led the way. Inside the sovereign immortal aperture, milky white seawater rose and fell with the tides. The sea was covered in thick fog. One could not see anything including their 5 fingers. In this milky white fog, countless people seemed to be moving in it rapidly at all times. Shizong's mind was completely chaotic. He was muddled and dazed. He was submerged in the seawater at times, while floating in the white fog at other times. He could vaguely hear a voice calling him. Shizong, since you are awake, why are you not coming out? Thus, he followed this voice and walked out of the sea, arriving at the shore. He was bare naked with no clothing on him. After leaving human sea, he suddenly jolted awake. Looking at the dense white fog and sea around him, he checked his own body. He was in disbelief. Didn't I die already? Shizong, you have already revived in Master's secluded domain of heaven and earth, human sea. But your cultivation level has been lost. You are immortal and will need to cultivate from the start again. The Gu Immortal who led him out smiled as he said. Shizong was speechlessly dazed. After a while, he fell to the ground as he knelt by the shore. I was able to revive all thanks to Master's kindness and generosity. Shizong raised his head and shouted, tears flowing down his face in excitement. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2168 Unifying Human and GU. Chapter 2168 Unifying Human and GU. Before Fang Yuan entered Crazed Demon Cave, the secluded domain of heaven and earth human sea had already been completed. In order to construct the complete human sea, Fang Yuan ordered the slaughter of countless humans. He had unsurmountable sin and blood on his hands, but he also achieved his goal as he obtained the results that he expected at this moment. Evidently, if news that dead GU immortals could revive through human sea spread among his subordinates, Fang Yuan's force would gain a huge boost in morale. The truth was, in the 500 years of his previous life, human sea secluded domain was used by Eastern Sea's Sha clan. In Fang Yuan's first life of 500 years, when Sha clan's GU immortals died outside, they were not truly dead, they could revive from human sea. Although their immortal GU and immortal apertures accumulations would be lost, they would still retain their cultivation level and immortal aperture itself. Eastern Sea's Sha clan gained a huge reputation because of this. For the following period of time, they invaded southern border. Southern border's GU immortals fought against Sha clan. Over time, they learned about Sha clan's background and foundation. Eventually, Chai clan mimicked human sea and created their own human mountain secluded domain. In the 500 years of his previous life, Fate GU was only damaged but not entirely destroyed. Now, Fate GU was completely gone. Thus, human sea could revive GU immortals with much less difficulty. But Fang Yuan did not let those GU immortals who revived become GU immortals again immediately. Firstly, to revive a GU immortal who retained their cultivation level, it would cause a huge expenditure to human sea. After a few uses, he would need to slaughter a massive number of humans and variant humans to replenish it. It was not that Fang Yuan could not bear to do that, but it was troublesome. Also, if these GU immortals became mortals again and had to cultivate all over again, Fang Yuan could make use of them. Firstly, these revived GU masters had the foundation of a GU immortal, they had rich cultivation experience, it was probable that they would succeed in immortal ascension again. During their ascension, the natural inspiration would be a good chance for Fang Yuan to get answers he wanted. Secondly, when these GU immortals recultivate, they would need to undergo tribulations. Fang Yuan could help them with that and gain heaven path Dao marks. Finally, after these GU immortals cultivate from the start, they might gain inspiration and innovate new killer moves. In the process, they would also be more reliant on Fang Yuan. It would mean that he would gain greater control over them. But at this moment, after using the killer move Human Revival C, his heart shook as inspiration flashed in his mind. At this moment, he obtained a crucial breakthrough in refinement path. So the human body GU refinement method is like this. Brilliance flashed in Fang Yuan's mind, a light sense of joy appeared in his heart. The so-called human sea revival method was in essence using a GU cultivator method to refine the human body and soul. This was a human path method indeed, but it was also using GU to refine a human. Fang Yuan lacked insight on the human body GU refinement method earlier. When he researched on Ni clan, he found that the human body GU refinement method was related to blood path and others. This conclusion was not wrong. Using a human to refine GU and using GU to refine a human, the two are interchangeable in essence. These two were like the two sides of a coin, they existed with one another. The true core was unifying human and GU. It was like sovereign immortal fetus GU, it was a GU worm that could turn into a human body after activation. But it did not provide a soul. Instead, the sovereign immortal body would be created with the most compatibility with the GU cultivator's soul. When Fang Yuan used human sea to revive a GU immortal, he was refining a human body and also a human soul. Looking at the legendary immemorial desolate beast Ching Chou, it was originally a killer move that was converted into a life form. This meant that any life form could be created with a GU cultivation method. This was totally possible in theory. And the truth was, this was already hinted in less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than. In less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than, chapter 3 section 14, it was clearly stated. The myriad lifeforms in the world were originally secluded domains of heaven and earth, GU worms within the blue sea of life. These GU worms were washed ashore by the waves of the blue sea, turning into all sorts of lifeforms. All the countless methods converged into the same origin. Using GU to refine human, using human to refine GU, human and GU were one to begin with. Although Fang Yuan understood this logic, he had only fully comprehended the complete details of this logic at this moment in time. This comprehension broke through the thin barrier that obstructed him. Fang Yuan could see a bright scene beyond it. He only needed to make a small deduction now to design a killer move that could unravel Ni Clan's GU Immortal method. He could extract all sorts of immortal GU from the Ni Clan members' bodies. It was not easy to reach this stage. Fang Yuan had a foundation in this aspect already. After all, he used the human isolation-style GU refinement method in the 500 years of his previous life. In this life, he had all sorts of encounters and accumulations in this aspect. Even though Ni Clan was not his breakthrough point, by studying and analyzing them, Fang Yuan gained a deeper foundation. Eventually, the immense foundation led to a qualitative change. Fang Yuan unexpectedly succeeded in his breakthrough due to human C. Throughout history, refinement path had two styles. The first was the hairy man nature GU refinement method. It used nature and Tao marks to refine GU. The opposite was limitless demon Venerable using GU worms to refine heaven and earth. The second was the human isolation style. Ni Clan's GU Immortal, the refinement path quasi-supreme Ni Ren, used humans to refine GU, implanting all sorts of immortal GU deep within the bloodlines of his Ni Clan descendants. The opposite was sovereign immortal fetus GU, the human sea revival method, and the blue sea of life which used GU to refine human. The depth of refinement path Supreme Grand Master should likely comprise these four aspects. Currently, I have already comprehended human and GU refinement methods. I only lack the final, using GU to refine heaven and earth, aspect. By comprehending the arrangements of limitless demon Venerable, I have already broken through this hurdle. I have passed the initial stage with no obstacles remaining. As long as I continue progressing, I will eventually comprehend all the profundities. Fang Yuan evaluated. Treasure Yellow Heaven. Bai Ningbing's divine sense roamed around within it. She was selling immortal materials. Ever since she saw Fang Yuan's revival by chance and killed him, Bai Ningbing obtained a large number of desolate beast and ancient desolate beast corpses. She even obtained the true inheritance from searching Fang Yuan's soul. Bai Ningbing's immortal materials were already about to be sold out. Only the last portion was left. How are you selling these immortal materials? At this time, a divine sense came and asked for the price. Bai Ningbing explained the sale price. After little immortal Xingluo heard the price, she shrank slightly and wanted to bargain. Can it be a little cheaper? Immediately after, little immortal Xingluo stated her quote, "If you sell at this price, I'll buy it directly." Bai Ningbing wanted to refine GU herself. She created the killer move Breath Concealment Ice Pearl. If she could refine an Ice Pearl immortal GU, it would supplement this killer move greatly. She had already collected most of the immortal materials now. Bai Ningbing did not excel at trading. She wanted to nod and agree to the transaction when suddenly, another divine sense got closer. Oh, someone is actually selling the mala one duck's neck. This food path ancient desolate beast is very rare. Where did you find it from? The divine sense asked. Bai Ningbing was unwilling to expose clues about herself. She asked directly, "Are you buying or not?" "What price?" Bai Ningbing expressed the price while the divine sense said, "I'll buy it, I'll buy everything." "Do you need immortal essence stones or immortal materials?" Bai Ningbing gave the list of ice and snow path immortal materials she needed. The divine sense smiled. "I have them all, just wait a moment." In Eastern Sea, Zui Xian Wang withdrew his divine sense and contacted the Righteous Qi Alliance. The Righteous Qi Alliance had abundant immortal materials in the inventory. Zui Xian Wang used his contribution points to exchange for some ice and snow path immortal materials. Next, he sent these immortal materials into Treasure Yellow Heaven, allowing Bai Ningbing and Zui Xian Wang to complete the transaction. After getting the immortal materials she wanted, Bai Ningbing turned around and left Treasure Yellow Heaven. Central Continent's little immortal Xingluo's divine sense was still lingering around. It's such a huge pity. She failed to obtain the immortal material she wanted. Little immortal Xingluo was a lone immortal. She was a single person with only rank 6 cultivation level. She could not match Zui Xian Wang in wealth, not to mention the fact that he took out ice and snow path immortal materials that the seller requested. "I'll continue looking around." Little immortal Xingluo was very disappointed, but she did not want to give up. She continued to look around in Treasure Yellow Heaven. What is this? Not long after, she was shocked to find that a huge mountain appeared in Treasure Yellow Heaven. Who put an entire mountain in here? Sensing this situation, little immortal Xingluo stared with wide eyes as this was the first time she had seen such a gigantic transaction. The appearance of the mountain caused a small commotion to occur. Many divine senses came over and many GU immortal wills even gathered to observe the commotion. Who is so amazing to be able to sell an entire mountain? It is not easy to do this, they will need deep earth path attainment. This mountain is quite good, it contains abundant moon path Dao marks. But this large resource point is very valuable, who would sell it? Selling it in treasure yellow heaven will also incur a huge fee of immortal essence stones. The discussions had just started when this mountain vanished instantly. Someone actually bought it. It seems that the transaction was made beforehand. The mountain earlier seems to be Southern Border's Moon Bowl. It was indeed Southern Border's Moon Bowl. Fang Yuan had left a batch of GU immortals in Southern Border, Eastern Sea and various areas. After negotiating with Wu Clan, Moon Bowl was sold by Wu Clan, sent into the Sovereign Immortal Aperture through Treasure Yellow Heaven. Moon Bowl has arrived, catch it, catch it. Good, good, move to the left, move a bit to the right. Bam, the earth shook slightly as Moon Bowl landed on the ground. Immediately, a Rockman GU Immortal came forward and used a killer move, manipulating Moon Bowl's mountain roots to stab into the ground, turning it into a node of the earth vein. The other variant human GU Immortals were free for the moment, they watched while conversing. Did you hear? Shizong revived. Not just Shizong, any GU Immortals who died in the outside world were revived through human sea. Master has divine might, he is all-powerful. Reviving us GU Immortals is nothing more than a piece of cake. But we will lose all our cultivation level and need to start all over again. HMPH, there is only hope for the future if we are alive, so what if we become mortals? We just need to recultivate. If only I can receive the missions for combat. Don't even think about it. Those GU Immortals who are able to take those missions have strong battle strength, even though you have rank 7 cultivation level, you have just advanced, you still lack sufficient immortal GU. That's right, we need to take one step at a time. Let's work hard and do these missions to elevate ourselves first. While a portion of Fang Yuan's elite subordinates fought outside, the rest helped to manage the Sovereign Immortal Aperture, they worked hard and contributed their blood and sweat. Even though unexpected events constantly occurred in the Sovereign Immortal Aperture, it was still orderly and well managed. One mala is the spicy and numbing flavor in Chinese cuisine, which is made from Sichuan peppercorn, chili pepper and various spices simmered with oil. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2169 Shocking Find of Thieving Heaven's True Inheritance. Chapter 2169 Shocking Find of Thieving Heaven's True Inheritance. Northern Plains. A few rounds of an intense battle had just passed. Yin Wuke retreated constantly while pointing his finger, aiming at He Lu Lan. Immortal killer move, Crescent Moon Thrust. Ching. At the next moment, there was the crisp sound of unsheathing blades as a translucent pale blue crescent moon shot out from the ground like a sword towards He Lu Lan. He Lu Lan was prepared against this, she jumped up at almost the same time, avoiding it. Yin Wuque's pupils contracted slightly, this move was very fast and ordinary GU Immortals could not dodge it easily. But He Lu Lan succeeded in that, it showed that she had an exceptional investigative killer move. My method has only failed against Tian Shaoxin and Zhou Yizi. The former is a wisdom path GU Immortal capable of deductions while the latter cultivates time path, he had an investigative method that could peer a few breaths into the future. To think that today, it would fail against this mysterious female immortal. Even though this person cultivates strength path, she is not to be underestimated. Thoughts flashed in Yin Wuque's mind as he retreated at the same time. Rumble. He Lu Lan exerted strength as her body charged forward like a meteor, pushing aside the air in front of her, arriving before Yin Wuque in a few breaths of time. Yin Wuque gritted his teeth, he raised both hands and used a killer move, Moonrise. Moonlight gushed out of his forehead as he started to float up, but before he got far, He Lu Lan's fist already landed. Bam! With a loud sound, Yin Wuque was sent flying by He Lu Lan like a rubber ball. His thin body was sent flying far away, he landed on the ground and bounced along the surface for tens of steps, causing a gorge to form in his path. Raising his head again, Yin Wuque's vision was filled with He Lu Lan's figure, as well as her fist. Yin Wuque's heart jumped. The fist earlier caused considerable injuries to Yin Wuque despite his defensive method. He did not want to face another punch. You fell for it. Yin Wuque suddenly smiled, he stretched out 5 fingers and aimed at He Lu Lan. Clang, 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 clang. Instantly, 5 translucent light blue crescent moonblades shot out, they were created from nothing, targeting He Lu Lan who was at the center from all directions. He Lu Lan's eyes shined with cold light, she did not dodge but attacked with her fist instead. Yin Wuque's smile froze on his face, he watched as this fist got larger and larger, before landing on his eye socket. Boom! Yin Wuke was originally lying on the ground with his head raised. After taking this terrifying hit, his head was pushed down into the huge pit that was created below him. Ground shook as rocks were sent flying. The spectators, wooden statue Lord Wu Guang and sincerity Immortal Chen Chang, had twitching eyelids as they watched Yin Wuke get punched. They could feel his pain from over there. Yin Wuke was sent crashing underground from this punch. He was tens of feet below the ground surface. Dust clouds spread, but He Lu Lan did not chase him. She retreated rapidly instead. Clang clang clang. An unceasing number of moonblades were produced and shot towards He Lu Lan in a frenzied state. He Lu Lan had a calm expression as she continued to dodge. Her actions were simple and agile. Most of the moonblades were evaded while some were shattered by her fists. Yin Wuke attacked desperately. He finally obtained some time to regain his footing. He flew out of the deep pit, rising towards the sky. Currently, he was covered in dust and one of his eye sockets had cracked. The eyelid was swollen and turning purple. The vision in his eye was extremely blurred. His gaze flickered with lingering fear. The 2 punches earlier almost made me unconscious. It was so dangerous. Thankfully, the moon has already risen successfully. Yin Wuke let out a breath of air. Earlier, moon chi appeared from the top of his head. It had already gathered into a waxing crescent moon hanging in the sky under broad daylight. The Moonblade Killer move was still being used continuously as He Lu Lan dodged while diverting some attention to look at the waxing crescent moon in the sky. Earlier, the moonblades could only be formed from the ground, but now they can appear from thin air. Is this the effect of the moon in the sky? He Lu Lan thought rapidly. As her thoughts collided, they sparked brightly, but this amplification is not worth paying such a huge price. Yin Wuke endured 2 punches from me in order to activate this crescent moon. He Lu Lan was calm and composed internally. Earlier, she took the initiative to attack. Now, she focused on defense. Her actions were meticulous and allowed her to advance or retreat at will. Yin Wuke was still using his Moonblade Killer move. Crescent moonblades continued to form. The attack was unceasing, but He Lu Lan managed to defend herself stably and even had the chance to attack the crescent moon in the sky with her fists. The waxing crescent moon suffered an impact from her punch, but it only shook slightly like the mirage in a desert. The crescent moon is getting larger. Bright light flashed in He Lu Lan's eyes as she found out new information at this moment. So that's it. He Lu Lan had some sort of insight in her mind. After she stopped moving back, she charged ahead instead, enduring the attacks of the crescent moonblades in order to attack Yin Wuke. Yin Wuke's heart jumped. This female immortal's combat instincts are too powerful. It seems that she has seen through my combat system. Yin Wuke had an immortal opportunity in his earlier days. He inherited the inheritance of a certain olden antiquity moon path Gu immortal great expert. He thus had a complete and stable combat system. The waxing crescent moon was hanging in the sky. It amplified the various moon path killer moves of Yin Wuke. At the same time, when Yin Wuke's moon path killer moves get destroyed or countered, the lingering moon path Dao marks would be absorbed by the waxing crescent moon, causing it to grow. The waxing crescent moon would grow into a half moon, before becoming a full moon. Once it becomes a full moon, Yin Wuke's offense and defense would be amplified to the strongest state. Because He Lu Lan had seen through this tactic, she started to use her strongest defenses. Yin Wuke knew from the start that he was not He Lu Lan's match at the moment. He had to choose a delaying tactic to retreat while blocking her offenses. He Lu Lan engaged in a full frontal charge. The 2 immortals chased and escaped respectively. They fought intensely. Rocks were sent flying wherever they went. Nobody in their path was spared. Immortal Killer move, 8 directional strength fight. He Lu Lan shouted as her body flickered. 8 figures flew out and encircled Yin Wuke. Yin Wuke was caught unguarded and got surrounded in the middle. Oh no! Yin Wuke's expression turned pale at once. Fang Yuan's divine sense expanded and spread out in the sovereign immortal aperture. The sovereign immortal aperture was simply too big. It was hard to inspect it entirely. He had to extend his divine sense for some time before he could see the entire landscape. Strange events were still occurring in various places, but with Star Collection City controlling the situation, these events were mostly dealt with by Gu immortals nearby. There was no longer any disturbance. Fang Yuan focused on observing the Earth vein this time. Originally, the Earth vein was already created, but it was crude and simple. More than 10 nodes formed into a line which made a circle around the 5 regions, connecting the first and the last nodes. But after this period of development, although the current Earth vein was still following a singular trail, there were many branches developing away from the main trail already. It was no longer as empty as before. After some time, the nodes at the end of these branches will be interlinked to form a second ring that is even larger. By then, the Earth vein will have two different layers of connected lines. In the current 5 regions, not only were southern borders super forces transacting with Fang Yuan, the righteous Qi alliance was also preparing for this matter under Qi Si ancestors' orders. 2 sea islands had already been sold to the sovereign Immortal Aperture through Treasure Yellow Heaven. They were used as the Earth vein nodes in mini Eastern Sea. Eastern Sea's righteous path forces were still kept in the dark. They did not know that the buyer was Fang Yuan. There was profit to earn, a large sum at that, thus they were very enthusiastic. Fang Yuan had abundant capital now. Even though he faced a lack of resources in his initial investment period, this problem no longer existed. Fang Yuan had a vast number of immortal materials. He used these immortal materials to pay for the sea islands and famous mountains. The immortal materials from the first 6 layers of Crazed Demon Cave were chaotic and could not be transacted. But the 7th layer's Dao marks were obtained by Fang Yuan through Thieves' Den. They became pure rank 9 immortal materials. These rank 9 immortal materials were all extraordinarily valuable. There was no way to quantitatively define the price. Thus, Fang Yuan's wealth also soared, giving him great confidence in transactions. The truth was, if he did not use them to refine GU, these rank 9 immortal materials could only be sold to rank 8 GU immortals or super forces. Rank 6 or 7 GU immortals were not able to even make use of rank 9 immortal materials. These immortal materials were too high-end, even many rank 8 GU immortals did not have the capability to use them. Only those super forces wanted to stock up on them. After inspecting the Earth vein and seeing nothing wrong, Fang Yuan retracted his divine sense after noting that the development was progressing well. As his attention returned to the main world, Fang Yuan willed his cooking luck pot shook slightly. Fang Yuan started his luck inspection. He saw that some changes had occurred to his silver light luck pillar. The silver light pillar had become more condensed. It was half the size of earlier, but the density was at least 5 times of before. Be it the Earth vein construction or Fang Yuan's own refinement path comprehension, they were reasons that caused the silver light pillar to become more condensed. The 3 clouds representing star constellation, spectral soul, and giant sun were still at the top of the pillar of light, showing intentions to suppress and obstruct him. But at the bottom of the silver light pillar, the original soil dust circulating around had already turned into a mound that covered the silver light pillar. It seemed like the foundational base of the pillar. Recently, I have been comprehending Paradise Earth's tomb. I gained some insight. I can now create my own tomb Earth. Using tomb Earth, I can make GU immortals revive. Even the immortal GU that they had when they were alive can be produced alongside the person. Looking at the luck phenomenon, if I can comprehend Northern Plains Paradise Earth true inheritance, it will help me greatly too. Right when Fang Yuan was thinking, his luck changed again. He saw that above the silver light pillar, a dazzlingly bright star appeared between the 3 clouds. This star was shining in a silver-white light. It penetrated the cloud layer and shined directly onto the surface of the silver light pillar. They were similar silver lights. They seemed like they would benefit the silver light pillar a lot. What is going on? Fang Yuan's body shook. So that's it. I understand now. He gazed afar, through 10,000 li, looking at the central area of the intersection between the 3 great worlds. A small world revealed itself over there, emitting the intense aura of Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable. It was Thieving Heaven's space. It was very likely to contain one of Thieving Heaven's true inheritances. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2170 Thieving Heaven vs Limitless. Chapter 2170 Thieving Heaven vs Limitless. Crash crash crash. A series of brutal assaults hit Yin Wukei, who was on the ground. Yin Wukei shielded his head with both arms. He was curled up into a ball, desperately activating his defensive killer move. However, after a barrage of punches and kicks, his defensive method soon broke apart. I admit defeat, I admit defeat. Yin Wukei shouted loudly in panic and desperation. Fairy Black Moon, it's over, spare him. Wu Guang, who was at the side, came to urge her. He Lu Lan was only wanting to spar and had no intention to kill. Immediately, she stopped using her method. She turned to Chen Cheng and asked, Yin Wukei has been defeated, who is the next opponent? While she was asking, 2 GU immortals flew over from the sky. 1 female and 1 male immortal. The male had a skinny body and a sharp face. He had bean-like eyes. He emitted rank 7 light path aura. The female immortal had the body of a young child. Her eyes were watery and bright. her petite body was cute and delicate, she was a rank 7 Woodpath GU Immortal. They were Lu tribes Lu Chong and Lu Luo. Chen Cheng and Wu Guang looked at each other, they did not speak. Lu Luo was the first to ask, what is happening here? As nobody answered her, Lu Luo quickly turned to Yin Wuke. Yin Wuke was still lying on the ground, he received Wu Guang's treatment as he smiled bitterly, this fairy Black Moon came to challenge me, she has outstanding methods, I am not her match. Lu Chong heard this and his eyes shined, he smiled and said, Fairy Black Moon. May I have the honor of knowing your name? To think that a new outstanding figure would emerge in Northern Plains GU Immortal World. Lu Luo mocked Yin Wuke. Yin Wuke, do you know the difficulties of a lone immortal now? Our Lu tribe invited you to be our external supreme elder, it is something that would benefit you. At least, after joining our tribe, if any GU Immortal challenges you, it will incur the wrath of my Lu tribe. Yin Wuke smiled bitterly and shook his head. Thank you for the repeated offer, but I am used to being alone, I have no intention of joining any super force. Lu Luo frowned, can you not see what's good for you? Ever since the Fate War ended, in order to prepare against the 5 regions chaotic war, Longevity Heaven had ordered the various Huang Jin tribes to unify Northern Plains GU Immortal World. Many GU Immortals were recruited into Huang Jin tribes, while many demonic immortals were killed as well. At the other side, He Lu Lan showed no intention of answering Lu Chang's question. She said to Chen Chang, let's go. Hold on, Lu Luo's sharp voice interrupted her, she looked at He Lu Lan. You are very brazen, do you not know that Yin Wuke is the target of our Lu tribe's recruitment? Now that you injured him, you want to leave so easily. Sister, Lu Chong called out, feeling helpless internally. Lu Luo had just gone from rank 6 to 7, with the rise in strength, her temperament was also more arrogant now. If she was alone, she might not act like this, but with her brother Lu Chong here with her to rely on, Lu Luo showed a casual and carefree attitude. But because Lu Chong doted on his sister, he did not chide her, he stared at He Lu Lan, Fairy, why be in a rush to leave? Are you interested in joining our Lu tribe? If you can become Lu tribe's external supreme elder. Shut your dog mouth, He Lu Lan replied plainly. What? Lu Chong was stumped, Lu Luo stared with wide eyes, she was filled with rage and shock. How dare you? Bitch. Before she finished, He Lu Lan interrupted again. 2 dogs that block my way, bark once more and I will kill you. Seeing that the situation was going out of control, Chen Cheng quickly came in to mediate the situation. Lu Luo called out in a shrill voice, today's matter will not end like this, I want to see if. Boom, He Lu Lan attacked fiercely, a strength path phantom appeared before Lu Luo abruptly, punching the latter's face and sending her flying. Sister, Lu Chong was enraged, he was about to attack. Boom, he was also sent flying by He Lu Lan. Lu Chong was a famous rank 7 expert of Northern Plains, his strength far exceeded Lu Luo, he quickly stabilized his footing and said, you dare to attack us GU Immortals of Lu tribe. Boom boom boom, 8 strength path phantoms appeared around He Lu Lan, the dark capital strength tiger totem was also summoned, beating the Lu tribe siblings to a pulp. This, Chen Cheng watched with a dumbfounded expression. It cannot be resolved amicably now. Wu Guang was tongue-tied, he smiled bitterly towards Yin Wuke. So Fairy Black Moon's temperament is like this, Brother Yin, it was really lucky that you managed to survive at her hands. Yin Wuke snorted. If Fairy Black Moon really kills the Lu tribe siblings, do you think Lu tribe or Longevity Heaven will let us off? Wu Guang was dazed, he showed an unsightly expression. Are we going to take action to help the Lu tribe siblings? Wu Guang asked helplessly. Yin Wuke gritted his teeth, do you want to hug Longevity Heaven's smelly feet? Ever since Giant Sun Immortal Venerable created the Imperial Court contest, the entirety of Northern Plains became his kingdom. For the last 300,000 years, have we, the lone cultivators of Northern Plains, not suffered enough? Most of the immortals knew about the truth behind the Imperial Court contest. Northern Plains lone immortals and demonic cultivators had a poor impression of Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Back then, 5 Elements Grandmaster, who was still a lone cultivator, invaded Longevity Heaven, he was the proof of this mindset. Longevity Heaven desired to rule Northern Plains GU Immortal World, but the difficulty was too high. Many GU Immortal experts did not want to submit to the Huang Jin tribes, they did not want to obey the words of these people they detested. With the exception of 2 cases. One was during the 5 regions chaotic war, when Northern Plains GU Immortal World faced great external pressure, these GU Immortals would have no choice but to band together as one. The second was if Giant Sun Immortal Venerable revives successfully, His invincible might would force all these demonic immortals and lone cultivators to submit to him. The truth was, even in the 500 years of Fang Yuan's previous life, Longevity Heaven managed to unify Northern Plains' GU Immortal world because of Ma Hongyun. Ma Hongyun had the power of fortune rivaling heaven. He seemed to be someone who started from a humble origin. He was able to unite many lone and demonic immortals as a result. But he was in fact Longevity Heaven's chess piece, an arrangement of giant sun immortal Venerable. By relying on this, Longevity Heaven was able to unify Northern Plains' GU Immortal world after the 5 regions' chaotic war started. But now, the 5 regions' chaotic war had yet to start while Ma Hongyun was killed by Fang Yuan. The difficulty for Longevity Heaven to unite Northern Plains was simply much harder. Fairy Black Moon, I will definitely find you in the future to repay the shame of today's defeat. Lu Chong brought Lu Luo away. They escaped in anger. He was very strong but he could not display his strength. He Lu Lan targeted Lu Luo constantly. It made Lu Chong hold many reservations. He could only take hits passively. It was a terrible feeling. They finally escaped. Chen Cheng let out a breath of air. He had been holding his breath in anxiety earlier. HMPH, they cannot escape. After I defeat the lone and demonic immortal experts, I will challenge these Huangjin tribes. I will let the whole of Northern Plains know of my might. He Lu Lan smiled coldly. Chen Cheng was feeling a headache. He did not expect his master to have such grand ambitions. Not only did she want to defeat the lone and demonic immortals, she even wanted to challenge Northern Plains overlords, the Huangjin super tribes. Fairy, if you have such an ambition, I, Yin Wuke, am willing to travel alongside you as your entourage. Yin Wuke was standing with Wu Guang's help. He walked towards He Lu Lan. Oh, He Lu Lan raised her brows. Yin Wuke smiled bitterly. The truth is, if I do not travel with you, when Lu tribe's GU immortals come to find me, they will not let me off. I do not want to be a member of the Huangjin tribe. All right, He Lu Lan nodded. Back then, Chu Du also wanted to challenge the Huangjin tribes. We both cultivate strength path. How can I be inferior to him? Let's go together. I will come along too. Wu Guang said. This is an interesting matter. I want to watch it with my own eyes. Thus, He Lu Lan's group grew larger again. Crazed Demon Cave, 8th layer. 300,000 years ago. In the void, worlds were created and destroyed like bubbles. Suddenly, chains appeared, making loud clanking sounds as they formed into a chain domain that intertwined in the surrounding area. I was actually discovered. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable was slightly surprised, having been forced to reveal himself. Limitless Demon Venerables will appeared. Do stop, new Venerable. The space door that you seek is not here. As he spoke, countless chains shot out towards Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable from all directions. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable moved like lightning, traversing between the chains. He was agile like a fish in water. Limitless Demon Venerable's will. Excitement shined in his eyes. How do you know I am looking for space door? Are you saying that because you do not want me to destroy your arrangements in Crazed Demon Cave? You hid the 9th layer too deeply. I actually could not decipher it immediately. Why don't you let me in and take a look? As long as space door is not there, I will take my leave. Limitless Demon Venerable's will said. Thieving Heaven, even though I do not leave Crazed Demon Cave, I know many things about the current world. The current you cannot even control yourself. How can I allow you to enter the 9th layer? Cannot control myself. Why can't I control myself? Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable raised a brow. I just want to go home. I just want to go back and see my friends and family, but all of you want to obstruct me. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable spoke with increasing agitation. Limitless Demon Venerable was silent. The chains attacked even more fiercely now. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable snorted coldly. He stopped moving far away, no longer dodging. A blinding blue jewel-like light burst out with radiance. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable activated his killer move. The blue light faded, forming into a huge suit of armor around his body, turning him into a metallic giant. The metallic giant was covered in electric sparks. It moved rapidly towards Limitless Demon Venerable's will. The endless chains came to obstruct him, but they were all pushed aside by the metallic giant. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable rode in the metallic giant and charged his way forward, forcing his way to the central area of the chain domain, grabbing onto Limitless Demon Venerable's will. But at the next moment, Limitless Demon Venerable's will dissipated. At almost the same time, another lump of Limitless will appeared, saying calmly, "This is Crazed Demon Cave. My will can regenerate endlessly in here. There is a limitless supply of it." Is that so? Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable smiled coldly. Then have a taste of my methods. Bam bam bam. A shocking battle erupted at once. Within the void, countless worlds were implicated, they were all destroyed in the process. Limitless Demon Venerable's will had the territorial advantage, he was able to fight evenly with Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable initially. But as time went by, Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable was superior after all, he started to gain the upper hand. Limitless Demon Venerable had died long ago, this was only his will controlling Crazed Demon Cave after all. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2171 Four Venerables Repair the World. Chapter 2171 Four Venerables Repair the World. The lightning giant attacked, each action carried unparalleled lights. Countless chains swayed and targeted Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable as they sealed and slashed. The damage caused by the two venerables continued to spread out, the entire void was shaking intensely, it seemed to be unable to sustain the pressure. One by one, small worlds were implicated, they were rapidly destroyed and unable to last a few breaths of time. Within the lightning giant, Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable's expression became increasingly twisted, blood surged in his eyes as his aura became more vicious and wild. Take this move, Thieving Heaven shouted as the lightning giant's mountain-like body stopped on the spot. The surface of its body started to transform rapidly, with the crisp sound of clanking metal, cannons started to extend out of its body in all directions. Boom! Thousands of cannons fired at once, countless rays of light pierced the void, a rainbow color of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and others dazzled the entire heaven and earth. As light rays shot out and crossed a vast distance, they destroyed everything in their path, many chains that Limitless Demon Venerables will controlled were easily decimated. This move actually comprises metal, wood, water, fire, earth, and other paths. Each color of the cannons represent a different path. Oh no, Limitless Demon Venerable's will was shaken. The defensive line that he had established was penetrated, exposing the two great worlds that he was protecting. One world had rampaging wild beasts, the other was covered in lush greenery. They were Savage Wilderness Great World and Green Lotus Great World. Most of the cannons were blocked successfully, but 100 of them still shot towards the two great worlds mercilessly. What? These two worlds contain life? Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable was internally shocked. He could see clearly, his twisted expression froze on his face, clarity returned to his eyes that had turned blood red. Earlier when he explored the void, he saw that the small worlds were devoid of life, they were deathly silent. Thus, he did not care about the destruction of these small worlds. But Savage Wilderness Great World and Green Lotus Great World contained living beings, Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable did not want to be a mass murderer. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable gritted his teeth, he used all his strength to control the lightning giant and turn the cannon in another direction. All of the cannons narrowly avoided the two great worlds. Goo! Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable spat out a mouthful of blood. By forcefully changing his attack direction, he had to endure the backlash of the killer move. The lightning giant that had been powerful and unstoppable was no longer shining, it dimmed by a lot. The battle of the two venerables came to a halt at this moment. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable breathed roughly while Limitless Demon Venerable's will was protected by countless chains, he fell into deep thought. At the crucial moment, he saw the former's true nature. I can open the pathway and let you enter to take a look. A moment later, Limitless Demon Venerable's will said. What? Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable was surprised. But he immediately understood the reason, blood traces were still lingering on Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable's lips, with his relatively severe injuries, he could not heal them in the short period. He chuckled. Then what are we waiting for? Limitless Demon Venerables will opened a path as he led Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable into the 9th layer of Crazed Demon Cave. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable first saw a large mountain that was black and white in color. This is the book mountain recorded in less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable dispelled his lightning giant killer move, he expressed his surprise. Limitless, Will smiled. Book Mountain is one of the cores, with it, this Crazed Demon 9th Void formation can continue to grow. Each time a new genius GU cultivator appears in the world, they would help with the progress of their respective path. Book Mountain will absorb the new knowledge and develop the Crazed Demon 9th Void formation to continuously improve and develop. Initially, the 8th layer's void was very small, there were no worlds at all. But afterwards, as Rule Path, Phantom Path, and Refinement Path developed in the 5 regions, this place also continued to expand and grow. Small worlds first appeared, before they quickly increased in number. Reckless Savage Demon Venerable left behind Savage Wilderness Great World, Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable created his Green Lotus Tao field, greatly promoting the growth of the crazed demon ninth void formation. In time, living beings will be created and destroyed alongside the small worlds, no longer limited to the current two great worlds. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable went deeper. He started to see blocks of floating ice. They had various sizes and all sorts of strange shapes. This is the truthful floating ice. No wonder I did not find them when exploring the river of time, so it was you who found and kept them here. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable realized. And finally, he arrived at the deepest part of Crazed Demon Cave. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable showed a downcast expression. He felt very disappointed. Space Door is not here after all. Limitless, Will did not lie to him. Limitless, Will said. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable, if you do not believe me, you can continue to look. Space Door is not here. How can I find Space Door? That is my only hope of returning home. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable inquired. Limitless, Will shook his head. If I knew about it, why would I need to fight you earlier? Oh Thieving Heaven, please go back, what you seek is not here. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable was in a daze. He did not speak for some time. No, maybe, this is what I am looking for. Suddenly, Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable emitted a peculiar laugh. His expression was twisted, his eyes were blood red, his tone and mannerism of speech had changed completely, his voice was hoarse as if this was another person speaking. Oh no, Limitless, Will had a change of expression too. The thing he was worried about the most had still happened in the end. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable continued to speak in a hoarse voice. If I am not wrong, this is the place where the world boundary of the GU cultivation world is at its thinnest. O Limitless Demon Venerable, your crazed demon ninth void formation is using this place to pierce through the world boundary and bring those things that are beyond the world to act as the raw materials. That is how the 8th layer developed these great and small worlds, right? Say, if I were to break this boundary and leave the GU cultivation world entirely, will I be able to find a way back? Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable said that as his eyes widened, the aura of excitement and insanity grew more intensely on his body. Limitless, Will replied solemnly, impossible. You are a GU Venerable yourself, do you not know the power of those things beyond the world? You have already experienced their strength, haven't you? How long do you think you can last outside? The Venerable is the strongest person in the world, but even if you can last a long time, you will reach your limit eventually. Can you be sure that you will coincidentally find your original world before you reach your limit? You need to know, you are not the only otherworldly demon, the worlds outside of the GU cultivation world are more than just your original world. But, Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable raised his hands as he shouted, but do you know? Do you know how much I want to return? Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable then lowered his head, his fingers stabbing into his hair as his eyes were hollow. He muttered, do you know how tough it has been for me? When I was immortal, I told myself that if I became a GU master, I will be able to find a way home. When I became a GU master, I told myself that after becoming a GU immortal, I will be able to find a way home. After becoming a GU immortal, I consoled myself again, if I become venerable, I will be able to go home. But now, I am already a venerable. And yet, I cannot find Space Door. Where is Space Door? Even if I find Space Door, can it really let me return home? GU venerables are the strongest. There is no road ahead of me anymore. Sometimes, I will dream of Space Door. I dreamed that I found Space Door but realized it was completely useless. Whenever I wake up from such a nightmare, I will be covered in cold sweat. I admit that I am afraid. I am afraid that I cannot find Space Door. I am afraid that the truth behind it will send me into utter despair. Can you understand my feelings? Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable's breathing became rougher. He looked at the deepest part of Crazed Demon Cave, the thinnest part of the world boundary. He suddenly laughed, his eyes lit up as he said in a hoarse voice, so let me take a risk now. I will pierce this world. Stop it, Limitless, Will shouted. He was already prepared, he used his full strength to stop him. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable was instantly trapped by the surrounding chains. But at the next moment, another Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable appeared in front of him. He raised his arms high and slammed down fiercely. Boom! With a loud sound, the world boundary was broken, the most terrifying tribulation in the world descended. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable went out of the broken hole immediately. But Limitless, Will no longer had the time to pursue him. He tried his best to seal the broken boundary. But terrifying tribulations were spewing out of the hole. Limitless chains could not resist them, they could not even get close. After a few breaths of time, the hole expanded to twice of its original size. The situation is critical. If we do not mend this hole now, the entire world will be destroyed. Please lend me a hand. Limitless, Will shouted loudly. Reckless savages will flew out of savage wilderness great world, bringing with him countless fierce beasts. Genesis Lotus, Will flew out of green lotus great world, bringing along countless trees and grasses. The power of 3 venerables could only maintain the situation, they could not fix this hole. The hole did not expand, but the 3 venerables were already dead, just the power left behind by their main body could not salvage the situation. As the 3 venerables' power weakened, their expressions turned unsightly. To think that the world is going to be destroyed. Genesis Lotus, Will smiled bitterly. Limitless, Will sighed, I should not have taken the risk to let him in. No, reckless savages, Will said grimly. In that situation, even if all 3 of us took action, we could not stop thieving heaven. After all, we cannot take his life. Even if we force him away several times, he can still come back and challenge us until our strength is depleted. This is all my fault. Limitless, release me, I can help you. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable said regretfully. One Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable had left through the broken boundary, while another Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable was still trapped by Limitless Demon Venerable's chains. You, Genesis Lotus, Will was surprised. Who was the one who left earlier? Reckless savages, Will asked. That is Sha Xiao. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable smiled bitterly, he is my Tao Guardian. He is also. The situation was urgent. Limitless Will interrupted him, asking, what plan do you have? Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable said, do you know why Fate Gu's control over otherworldly demons is limited? That is because every otherworldly demon who comes into this world will carry their original world's insignia. Those are otherworldly Tao marks. Next, I will use the otherworldly space path Tao marks on my body to create a subspace and block this hole. Using the opportunity, I want you all to use your full strength and quickly mend it. Without hesitation, Limitless Will retracted his chains. Go ahead. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2172 Demonization. Chapter 2172, Demonization. Crazed Demon Cave, 8th layer. Large and small worlds were rapidly fusing together, all sorts of calamities and tribulations were rampaging in the worlds. The fighting between GU Immortals was also extremely heated. Weaklings would lose their lives from the shockwaves of clashes between experts. Strong individuals were also unable to defend themselves in this huge chaotic battle. They were like small boats facing a tsunami. With slight carelessness, they would be overturned and face death. Weak, too weak. Who else can stop me? Die. Ha ha ha. Butn Kong continued to provoke its enemies. It charged unhindered. Nobody on the battlefield could stop it. It was favored by the innate luck of Crazed Demon Cave to begin with. Under the effect of endless learning, its attainment level rose sharply. Afterwards, it received Heavenly Court's help and gained immortal GU and killer moves. Its strength rose explosively. Ni Kuangfeng and Duan, who were also like it. At this moment, the 3 of them were the strongest GU immortals shining in this battlefield. Vile beast, don't think you can act so arrogantly. Fang Yuan's 4 rank 8 subordinates surrounded Rock Monkey Butn Kong. Butn Kong instantly felt pressure as it stretched out its tongue, licking its lips with excitement and cruelty shining in its eyes. Very good, you have nice numbers. Who are you guys? Lightning Lion Warrior said as he activated a transformation path killer move, turning into the Lightning Lion Warrior that had a lion head and human body. Remember me, I am Dharma. Dharma Lion Warrior also activated his transformation method, turning into a lion head and human body warrior. Steel Rush Warrior turned into a rhino person. Frost Butterfly Warrior shrank in size, becoming the size of an adult's fist. It had a human shape with butterfly wings and could let out powerful frost energy. In GU Immortal combat, individuals often fought alone. But these 4 GU Immortals cultivated transformation path. They did not have conflicting Tao marks. Furthermore, they were familiar with each other. They had all originated from Beast Calamity Grotto Heaven. They originally had rank 7 cultivation level, but with Fang Yuan's help, they all became rank 8. Immediately, the 4 warriors surrounded Butn Kong. They fought intensely. Their battle went on until the sky turned dark, as if they could go on until the sun and moon lost their luster. Butn Kong was encircled and its injuries intensified, but it was getting more ferocious in combat. Fists, legs, head, body, knees, elbows, all of these body parts were Butn Kong's weapons. Fist shadows flashed as collisions occurred. Butn Kong would send one person flying each time. But the four were transformation path experts. Their bodies were tough and sturdy. Even though they were sent flying, they would quickly return and maintain the encirclement, giving Butn Kong huge pressure. The battle of the five went from the sky to the ground, before going back to the sky again. Everywhere they went, other GU immortals dodged with all their might. Awesome, awesome, again. Butn Kong got more and more excited. It felt its mind becoming clearer as all sorts of inspiration of killer moves surged internally. The barriers that it felt before were starting to loosen. It was one of the three luck children of Crazed Demon Cave's 8th layer. Its talent and aptitude were superb and unmatched. The strong external pressure were an opportunity to squeeze out even more of its potential in this situation. The rock monkey got fiercer and fiercer. It was originally not proficient with Heavenly Court's killer moves, but now, it had already mastered them. It even fused the moves into its own combat style. This rock monkey is terrifying. Even with the four of us working together, we cannot kill it. Lightning Lion and the rest were feeling worried. Even though they were still encircling the rock monkey, they felt that they were trying to suppress a volcano. The volcano was storing up strength at the moment, turning external pressure into its own driving force. Once it reached its limit, the volcano would erupt, the commotion would shock the world, it would retaliate with a fatal attack. Quick, kill him, make use of Master's method, let the tribulations wear it down. The four immortals communicated in secret, their cooperation also got smoother. All along, Fang Yuan's Heaven Envy's heroic genius's killer move had been exerting its effect. The tribulations were used by him to target Butn Kong, Ni Kuang Feng, and the rest. Of course, most of the tribulations were a form of refinement path method to refine the various small worlds, and the conflicting Tao marks between the great worlds. Especially with the eruption of tribulations within and outside small worlds. These explosions caused small worlds to be destroyed and completely fuse with the three great worlds. During this process, Savage Wilderness Great World had the greatest gains. However, there was a small world that acted independently. It was outstanding. Among the small worlds, no matter how the tribulations attacked it, it remained unmoved. It was Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. Ordinary small worlds were spherical bubbles, while Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space was cubic with sharp edges. No matter what the tribulations did, it remained in its original shape. Within Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace, Immortal Zombie Giant Sun's gaze was already on this true inheritance space of Thieving Heaven. Otherworldly demon, he snorted, memories surfacing in his mind as his expression turned unpleasant. Back then, Giant Sun became an immortal Venerable. He went into Crazed Demon Cave's 8th layer and learned of the true details regarding the four Venerables repairing the world. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable had disregarded the entire GU cultivation world for his selfish desire. He almost caused the world to be destroyed. Even though he extracted his own otherworldly space path Tao marks at the crucial moment to seal the gaping hole by creating a subspace, the crack was already created, it could not be mended fully. The other three Venerable Wills gave it their all and paid a huge price. Other than Limitless, Will, Genesis Lotus, and Reckless Savage's wills had to fall into deep slumber afterwards. Using the opportunity, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable got rid of Reckless Savage's will and took over the control of Savage Wilderness Great World. When Thieving Heaven left behind this true inheritance, other than to seal the hole he made, he had a deeper motive, that was to leave it for the crucial person 300,000 years later, Gu Fang Yuan. However, I made my move in advance to dismantle a portion of the true inheritance. I obtained the killer move Perfect Pair and Imitation Gu. Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space paid a huge price to block the hole back then. It became flawed and was not intact anymore. Immortal Zombie Giant Sun thought about the situation. Since Thieving Heaven's true inheritance has appeared, with Fang Yuan's possession of self-luck true inheritance, he can use luck inspection to find out that this is his fortuitous encounter. He will definitely go there. And Heavenly Court will send troops to stop him. The greatest enemy is still Heavenly Court. Heavenly Court had the initiative, they were maintaining their advantage. Immortal Zombie Giant Sun was a luck path cultivator, he could not match true experts of wisdom path in deductions. Immortal Zombie Giant Sun decided to watch Fang Yuan's conflict with Heavenly Court and try to reap the gains of their fight. The main thing was to deal a heavy blow to Heavenly Court. Peak of Book Mountain, Fairy Yu Shu, Qin Ding Ling, and the rest were also looking at Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. Thieving Heaven's space has appeared. Since it could block the hole back then, it would not be destroyed by the tribulations within this void. We need to deal with it quickly, it is becoming our obstruction. Fairy Yu Shu said. Qin Dingling suddenly received important information. She quickly said, "Our informant in Yellow Earth Great World said that Fang Yuan has already gone to Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. But Longevity Heaven is very quiet, they are not doing anything." Fairy Yushu was not surprised. Of course he would go, Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable left behind this true inheritance for him after all. As for Immortal Zombie Giant Son who is in Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace, he will go there as well. Saying so, Fairy Yushu smiled. Qin Dingling. Yes, Qin Dingling replied solemnly. Let's go, we will go find Fang Yuan and Immortal Zombie Giant Son. Fairy Yushu stood up gradually. Excitement flashed in Qin Dingling's eyes. She said hesitantly, "Don't we have to mind Limitless Demon Venerable's retaliative method anymore?" "Don't worry, Thieving Heaven's space is not part of Limitless Demon Venerable's arrangements. He needs us to destroy it or have Fang Yuan inherit it so that it will disappear. This space is an obstruction to Limitless derivation, he will be more than happy to see us destroy it." Fairy Yushu answered. Heavenly Court's troops moved out. Divine Emperor City brought Fairy Yushu, Qin Dingling, and others along as they departed from Book Mountain. At the same time, Demon Judgment Board moved with Fairy Minghao and Jiu Fang Zheng inside. They also left the front lines. Even though Green Lotus Great World was facing the attack of Longevity Heaven and Fang Yuan, because of Fairy Yushu's earlier actions, Heavenly Court had many mutant Jiu Immortals joining them like Butian Kong, Ni Kuang Feng, and Duan Hu. These Jiu Immortals forced Yellow Earth Great World and Savage Wilderness Great World into a disadvantage. Immortal Killer Move, Spiraling Green Leaf Blade. Swoosh swoosh swoosh, countless flying leaves moved like blades as they spiraled towards Ni Kuang Feng from all directions. Ni Kuang Feng laughed wildly, its body moving agilely between the flying leaves, dodging while also directly charging past the blades that it could not avoid. It turned into a tornado at times, the wind blades around it were very sharp and thin. Xiao Hejian gritted his teeth, he watched as Ni Kuang Feng approached rapidly, feeling intense pressure in his mind. He had already fought Ni Kuang Feng for several minutes now. Even though Heaven Envy's heroic geniuses could restrain Ni Kuang Feng, it could not kill him. Ni Kuang Feng had Heavenly Court's help and managed to recover quickly, it was now treating Xiao Hejian as its own prey. Die! Ni Kuang Feng shouted. You fell for it. At the crucial moment, two figures appeared beside Xiao Hejian. One was a Miniman Jiu Immortal, Green Forest Great Sage, the other was Black Locust, the owner of Giant Locust Grotto Heaven, who was also another Woodpath cultivator. Xiao Hejian's killer move changed at once as the three immortals cooperated, their strength grew explosively. Flying leaf blades turned into seeds that were planted on Ni Kuang Feng's body. Countless vines started to grow from them, tying Ni Kuang Feng up tightly. Ni Kuang Feng was a tornado to begin with, but these vines were still capable of binding it, interrupting its immortal essence usage. Thus, Ni Kuang Feng's killer moves could not be sustained for long, the immortal essence flow became unsteady and the power of the moves fell to rock bottom. More and more vines appeared, growing longer and longer, they almost covered Ni Kuang Feng completely, leaving no gaps at all. Don't force me. Ni Kuang Feng struggled, but it was getting weaker. We finally caught this guy. Black Locust was overjoyed. The three Woodpath Jiu Immortals looked at each other, showing expressions of joy. Xiao Hejian was very happy now, because Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch lost to Ni Kuang Feng earlier, while he defeated the latter. Comparing the two, it allowed Xiao Hejian to suppress Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch. But at this moment, Ni Kuang Feng's aura started to become quite peculiar and strange. The vines had already turned into a huge ball, but Ni Kuang Feng's voice could still be heard from within. I am going to demonize every time I fall into a desperate predicament, I will demonize. I don't want to undergo demonization. Because once I demonize, I will lose my consciousness until I destroy and kill everyone and everything in the world that I am in. But you guys forced me, you forced my hand. Ah. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2173 Perish with the Wind. Chapter 2173, Perish with the Wind. Ah! Ni Kuang Feng shouted loudly, the louder its voice, the stronger its aura, it soon reached a shocking and unprecedented level. Boom! With a loud sound, the vines were torn into countless pieces. Ni Kuang Feng regained its freedom. But currently, it was not a deep green tornado, it had turned into a reddish-brown demonic wind. Intense winds blew, it instantly crossed several thousand steps of distance, arriving before Green Forest Great Sage. Green Forest Great Sage had already used his defensive killer move, but after the reddish-brown demonic wind devoured him, his aura quickly weakened before completely dying after a few breaths of time. The demonic wind stopped for a moment. It was like a shark that could smell blood as it charged towards Black Locust, who was nearby. Be careful, Xiao Hejian quickly moved to help. But after a few rounds, the demonic wind still managed to kill Black Locust. The demonic wind finally targeted Xiao Hejian. Xiao Hejian could not match Ni Kuangfeng, he had to retreat as he fought. After a few rounds of combat, his tiny face showed a grim expression, his forehead was covered in sweat. The aura of defeat and death was getting denser. Rumble. Lightning tribulations continued to strike, but Ni Kuangfeng did not care about them, it was terrifyingly strong. Elsewhere. Stop, Lu Weiyin shouted, but Bu Tiankong's fist still landed, smashing Steel Rush Warrior's skull into mush. Thereafter, Bu Tiankong growled, Steel Rush Warrior's soul was shattered. Steel Rush Warrior could not be more dead, his headless corpse fell from the sky like a broken rag doll. Be it his body or immortal aperture, they were absorbed by the great world as nutrients. Who else? Bu Tiankong raised its head and roared, it was overflowing with fighting spirit, rivaling the 9 heavens and resounding in the world. At this point, the 4 rank 8 GU immortals attacking it were all dead, they were mercilessly killed in a horrific manner. Lu Weiyin sighed as he flew towards the rock monkey. The rock monkey stared at him fiercely, are you the next one? Very good, I will kill you, even if you are Yellow Earth Great World's sage. Lu Weiyin shook his head, I am no sage. Bu Tiankong, your killing intent is too overbearing. Lu Weiyin had to take action against Bu Tiankong personally. Bu Tiankong killed too many GU immortals, if it was not stopped, the overall situation of this GU immortal battle would be affected. Boom boom boom, Lu Weiyin and Bu Tiankong exchanged blows. This time, Bu Tiankong was finally suppressed. Even though it was strong and could kill many rank 8 GU immortals, it was still not pseudo-venerable level. In contrast, even though Lu Weiyin lacked offense, his defense was firmly in the realm of pseudo-venerable level. Lu Weiyin endured Bu Tiankong's fierce attacks with much energy to spare. You are not a sage, yet you are so strong already. Good, very good. Come and attack me, try and kill me, I have not sensed any fatal killing intent against me for some time already. Why are you not attacking? Why do you only defend yourself? Are your attacks so weak and useless? You are too disappointing. The rock monkey continued to shout as it moved rapidly like lightning in the sky, its attacks were like furious lightning bolts from heaven, its power was rising endlessly. But Lu Weiyin got distracted. Because he heard that Fang Yuan had already left for thieving heaven's true inheritance space at the center. Oh no, Lord Fang Yuan, please stop. Even though that small world might contain thieving heaven's true inheritance, it will be targeted by Heavenly Court and Longevity Heaven together. Heavenly Court has already sent their main troops, there are many immortal GU houses and GU immortals. Longevity Heaven has also sent Calamity Luck Altar. Now is not the time for a climactic battle. If Star Constellation Immortal Venerable attacks Paradise Earth's tomb while you are away, what will we do? Lu Weiyin transmitted time and again, but Fang Yuan did not even respond to it. Lu Weiyin gritted his teeth, his expression turning unsightly. No matter how strong Fang Yuan is, he is still just a pseudo-venerable, he is not a true venerable. I need to help him. If Star Constellation Immortal Venerable shows up and kills him, who will protect Paradise Earth's tomb, who will stall for the crucial time? While thinking of this, Lu Weiyin's vision suddenly turned dark. Bam! At the next moment, Rock Monkey Bu Tiankong's fist landed squarely on Lu Weiyin's face. You dare to be distracted? You are looking down on me, you will pay a terrible price. Bu Tiankong shouted. Bu Tiankong flew towards Lu Weiyin as they got closer again. Lu Weiyin was forced to retreat, he quickly used his killer move. It started to rain. Tribulation rain fell on Bu Tiankong's body, greatly slowing it down while also corroding its defenses. At the same time, Lu Weiyin's killer move showed effect. Yellowish-brown dust started to appear below Bu Tiankong, they moved around and gradually sealed it. Get lost, get lost! Bu Tiankong shouted, using killer moves in a frenzy, trying to sweep away all of the rain and dust surrounding it. But the rain and dust gathered together increasingly, eventually sealing it entirely. A lump of soil that trapped Bu Tiankong fell from the sky. After landing on the ground, it turned into a huge soil mountain. Just stay put here. Lu Weiyin immediately flew towards Thieving Heaven's space. No, I won't give in, these things cannot hold me down. Roar! Butn Kong shouted, its voice resounding like thunder as it reverberated in the battlefield. With a loud sound, the mountain was shattered, dust clouds emerged, from within the broken rocks, it flew out again. What? Lu Weiyin was stunned. Butn Kong's performance was out of his expectation, how could it escape so quickly? Butn Kong resisted the tribulations while flying to catch up to Lu Weiyin. Boom! The two exchanged killer moves again, while Lu Weiyin was held back this time. This monkey's killer moves are getting stronger, so that's it. Lu Weiyin understood at this moment. The tribulations were aiding Butn Kong all along. As long as it was not killed, it would continue to undergo tribulations and gain more Dao marks. That was why Butn Kong got increasingly stronger as it fought. I want this heaven to no longer shroud my vision. Butn Kong shouted as it used a move that shot out a rainbow, sweeping away the dark clouds of the surrounding 500 li. I want this earth to no longer bury my heart. Butn Kong shouted as it stomped on the ground. Mountains collapsed, as Lu Weiyin, who had his defensive method broken through, watched in surprise. Butn Kong was already in a state of insanity. It found Fang Yuan who was not far away. It abandoned Lu Weiyin and went for Fang Yuan instead. Be careful, Lu Weiyin quickly advised. This monkey is not simple. Fang Yuan did not turn around. It was as if he heard nothing, he only looked at the subspace in front of him. Butn Kong moved rapidly and seemingly teleported behind Fang Yuan. I want all life to understand my intention. I want this sage to perish with the wind. Butn Kong shouted, activating the strongest killer move it had used in its life. Winds, clouds, and thunder roared. The world changed colors at this moment. Fang Yuan turned around slightly, waving his hand lightly towards the back. At the next moment, Butn Kong fell like a comet, crossing the entire battlefield and slamming into several mountains. After a chain of loud explosions, it created a huge gorge of several kilometers on the ground. Finally, it lay on the ground, its eyes were wide open but it did not move at all. It was dead. The unceasing chaotic battles and heated battlefields turned silent at this moment. Ni Kuangfeng, who was unstoppable and killing everything in its path, froze in its reddish-brown demonic wind state. Fang Yuan cast his glance upon it. Ni Kuangfeng shuddered immediately. At the next moment, endless fear filled its mind and body. I will die, I am going to die. It went out of its demonized state, immediately gaining clarity. Escape. It quickly flew away, ignoring its opponent, Xiao Hejian. Xiao Hejian was heavily injured and was on the verge of death. He had no way to fight back. With just one attack, he would die. He stared with a dumbfounded look as Ni Kuangfeng escaped from the battlefield in a crazed state. Fang Yuan turned around again, looking at Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space with a calm expression. He turned to look at Heavenly Court's army. Divine Emperor City and Demon Judgment Board were arriving soon. He looked at the other side. Longevity Heaven's Calamity Luck Altar shined with a golden aurora. It was arriving too. A cold and ruthless light flashed in Fang Yuan's eyes for a moment. He turned into a white ray of light as he entered Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. Charge, we will fight inside. Fairy Yushu immediately ordered. Once Heavenly Court's Immortal GU houses arrived, they also entered Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. They could not use their full strength outside. If they went past the limit, they would face limitless Demon Venerable's retaliative method. At the same time, it was easier to destroy Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space from the inside. Fang Yuan's vision changed rapidly. When he regained his sight, he was already in this true inheritance space. Every true inheritance space that Thieving Heaven left behind could be considered an artificial secluded domain. This was a strange space. It had warm lights but no mountains, rivers, wind, or land. It was completely empty. But there were some peculiarities in here. There were black lines that extended everywhere, covering every inch of the space. These lines were either thick or thin. They all gave off a terrifying aura that Fang Yuan felt fearful towards. At the same time, he felt familiarity in this aura. He quickly thought of the mysterious black fire in the Blue Dragon Whale's Grotto Heaven. Even though Fang Yuan did not know what happened 300,000 years ago, after seeing this, he realized immediately, it seems that this true inheritance space is going to collapse soon. I need to quickly comprehend the mysteries here and decipher where the true inheritance really is. The last time he entered a true inheritance space of Thieving Heaven, he obtained ghostly concealment. That time, Fang Yuan went in through open door GU and closed door GU. At that time, the true inheritance space was very stable. It had many winds of assimilation tornadoes inside. Only an otherworldly demon could dispel the wind by touching them. Because of that, Fang Yuan accidentally saved Feng Juzhe. After all the tornadoes had vanished, Fang Yuan successfully obtained ghostly concealment. It was a smooth process. But this space was different. There were no tornadoes at all. If Thieving Heaven's true inheritance really existed here, it would be hidden deeply and would require deductions. But Fang Yuan was not rushing to make deductions. He took out a formation from his immortal aperture and placed it within this space. It was the 5 regional limit formation. The 5 regional limit formation activated, 5 colored smoke spewed out. In a few breaths of time, 5 colored smoke spread out in the surrounding 10 li. It was so dense that one could not see their own fingers. After Heavenly Court's troops entered Thieving Heaven's space, they went inside the 5 colored smoke and immediately felt suppressed. These are the 5 regions' regional walls. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2174 I became handsome, I became stronger. Chapter 2174 I became handsome, I became stronger. Why are the 5 regional walls mixed together in here? Is this an arrangement of Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space? No, this is Fang Yuan's 5 restriction profound light chi. He had modified it. It is as if the 5 regional walls are replicated. Fairy Yu Shu quickly deduced. Fang Yuan's 5 restriction profound light chi and 5 regional limit formation were exposed during the Fate War. With these clues, it was not an issue for a wisdom path great expert like Fairy Yu Shu to deduce. Boom! Fang Yuan suddenly appeared, his killer move landing on Demon Judgment Board. Demon Judgment Board was instantly swept away deep into the dense fog. We cannot fight here. Fang Yuan has the sovereign immortal body, he is unrestricted. Ji Yu Yu Fang Zheng shouted. Originally, the 5 regional walls had disappeared completely. To think that Fang Yuan would reproduce them, it seems that he has been preparing for this battle for a long time. Fairy Minghao gritted her teeth before ordering, find the 5 regional limit formation and destroy it. Southern Restriction Purple Black Miasma Light Chi, Central Restriction White Gold Saint Light Chi, Northern Restriction Jade Licorice Light Chi, Western Restriction Red Raging Flame Light Chi, and Eastern Restriction Blue Water Light Chi. They were all different now, having being elevated to a whole new level. They were already on par with the 5 regional walls that existed in the past. Back then when Dao Zhu researched on the 5 regional walls, he created the methods of 5 regional limit formation and 5 restriction profound light chi. Fang Yuan used the foundation of his life's research and made a breakthrough. He reached a height that Dao Zhu had never seen in his life. Fang Yuan had the sovereign immortal body. He was completely unaffected in the 5 regional walls. Other GU immortals, however, were restricted by the regional walls. No matter what GU worms they used, they would have to face a backlash. With this difference, Fang Yuan's advantage was too huge. Heavenly Court did not want to see this situation. In the past, they would not be affected by central restriction White Gold Saint Light Chi, but now was different. With the merging of the 5 regions and the rampage of Chi tides, the entire world's aura has been unified. GU immortals were no longer differentiated by regions. And this new combined aura of the 5 regions was not any of the previous 5 regional Chi. Thus, no matter which region the GU immortal came from, they would be suppressed within this 5 restriction profound light Chi. Boom boom boom. Fang Yuan dealt a heavy blow to Divine Emperor City, causing this huge city's green surface layer of light to shake and tremble. But Divine Emperor City was too huge, even Fang Yuan could not destroy it for now. From Divine Emperor City, a female immortal flew out. She was a young lady with a beautiful appearance. It was Fairy Yu Shu. She surged with battle intent as she went to Fang Yuan. Gu Fang Yuan, do you dare to fight me? At this time, another immortal Gu house arrived in Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. It was Longevity Heaven's Calamity Luck Altar. Bing Sai Chuan's voice resounded from within. Fang Yuan, why don't we join hands and dismantle this Divine Emperor City first? Fang Yuan smiled lightly and replied, no, currently, Demon Judgment Board has been thrown into the 5 regional walls, while Divine Emperor City is too big and hard to send flying. Your side will stall Divine Emperor City while I will go and destroy Demon Judgment Board. Fang Yuan, Bing Sai Chuan wanted to urge him. But Fang Yuan turned around and went into the 5-colored smoke without hesitation. Ignore him, our target is Divine Emperor City. Within Calamity Luck Altar, Immortal Zombie Giant Sun sat at the main seat as he ordered. Yes, Master. Bing Sai Chuan immediately moved Calamity Luck Altar, which crashed towards Divine Emperor City like a comet. Fairy Yu Shu gritted her teeth, she had to defend it. Lu Wei Yin also arrived at this moment. Lord Fang Yuan, He only managed to see Fang Yuan's figure disappearing into the five-colored smoke. Sigh. Lu Weiyin sighed deeply. He did not dare to enter the five-colored smoke deeply. He had to communicate with Bing Sai Chuan and attack Divine Emperor City instead. The five regional limit formation continued to function as five-colored smoke poured out endlessly. Within the dense smoke, Demon Judgment Board charged everywhere, trying to find the location of the formation. Outside the dense smoke, Divine Emperor City and Calamity Luck Altar fought intensely. Found it. Inside Demon Judgment Board, Fairy Minghao's eyes suddenly opened. She was a pseudo-venerable level wisdom path grade expert, her full strength was nothing short of extraordinary. But this deduction also dealt heavy damage to her. After all, she was using wisdom path killer moves in the five regional walls. Good, if we destroy this formation, we will be ruining one of Fang Yuan's trump cards. Ji Yu Fang Zheng flew with great morale, charging with Demon Judgment Board. The five-colored smoke became denser as Demon Judgment Board's luster became dimmer. Ji Yu Fang Zheng was sustaining a huge backlash, his face soon turned pale as blood oozed out of his mouth. Boom boom boom. Fang Yuan found them and used killer moves continuously with terrifying strength. Demon Judgment Board was facing greater difficulty in defending itself, it moved precariously ahead. Ignore him, destroy the formation. Fairy Minghao's childlike appearance was filled with boldness and determination. Demon Judgment Board paused for a moment before shooting out a blood-red beam of light. The blood-red light was thick and powerful, it landed on the formation with an extremely fast speed. The surface of the five regional limit formation radiated with five colored lights, it shook slightly but did not collapse. How can this be? Within Demon Judgment Board, Fang Zheng was very shocked. He was clear of this move's power, even within the five regional walls, it should not be this weak. Fairy Minghao understood the reason immediately, her pupils shrank slightly. Fang Yuan invested a lot into this formation, it has at least 8 rank 8 immortal GU and the defense is high, we cannot destroy it in a short period of time. The five regional limit formation used region and limit as the cores originally, as well as a vast number of mortal GU. Afterwards, Fang Yuan added Earth Vein Immortal GU, followed by Formation Spirit and Formation Flag. During the Fate War, these Immortal GU were mostly rank 7. But the current Fang Yuan was different. While recuperating, he did not just modify the five regional limit formation again by raising its defense, he even raised all of the Immortal GU in this formation to rank 8. His wealth was simply unimaginable. The full-powered attack of Demon Judgment Board could not even remove one layer of the five regional limit formation's defense. In fact, because they activated a powerful killer move, the backlash was even greater. This famous rank 8 Immortal GU house was now covered in cracks, it was near the point of breaking apart. What should we do now? Fang Zheng could not help but be flustered internally. Fang Yuan was attacking outside and giving him huge pressure. Their goal of trying to destroy the five regional limit formation was also impossible now. I advise that we retreat. Fang Zheng gritted his teeth, suggesting to Fairy Minghao. Fairy Minghao nodded. Fighting here is too unfavorable. But it is fine, destroying this formation was only one attempt, even if we fail, there is no consequence on the eventual outcome. Let's go. Fairy Minghao left Demon Judgment Board and opened her Immortal Aperture's entrance, storing this Immortal GU house. Next, in front of Fang Yuan's surprised gaze, she vanished on the spot. Soon, Lu Weiyin, who was fighting outside, transmitted to Fang Yuan that Fairy Minghao had suddenly appeared beside Fairy Yushu. He also asked about the situation on Fang Yuan's end. The two pseudo-venerables Minghao and Yushu were able to teleport to each other instantly. Fang Yuan guessed. Fairy Minghao did not succeed in destroying his five regional limit formation, while Fang Yuan also failed to destroy Demon Judgment Board. In essence, this was a draw, Fang Yuan might have a slight upper hand. But the situation was still stuck in a deadlock. As long as the five regional limit formation is still functioning, five-colored smoke will continue to spread and fill the entire true inheritance space. But this will take too long, neither Heavenly Court nor Longevity Heaven will want to stay in here until then. Fang Yuan pondered rapidly. The five regional limit formation was not a battlefield killer move, it could not restrain people, they could enter and exit freely. It would take too long for the five-colored smoke to fill Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. During this period of time, Thieving Heaven's true inheritance might be discovered by someone, or the space might collapse because of the intense fights. Fang Yuan flew out rapidly, leaving the five-colored smoke. He went to the battlefield of Divine Emperor City and Calamity Luck Altar. On one hand, he was wary of Heavenly Court's deduction ability, similar to his refinement path attainment, Heavenly Court's wisdom path attainment was a huge advantage for them. Fang Yuan had to restrain them from having the time to deduce the true inheritance's location. On the other hand, Fang Yuan had to join the battle and make deductions in his mind as well. Divine Emperor City floated in the sky while spreading green light. It was grand and imposing, remaining unmovable. Calamity Luck Altar was like a golden comet. Bing Sai Chuan manipulated it to its limit. It flew around Divine Emperor City continuously, launching all sorts of attacks. Between the two immortal GU houses, 4 pseudo-venerables, Fang Yuan, Lu Weiyin, Ming Hao, and Yu Shu were fighting. The two sides were first evenly matched, but soon, Fang Yuan and Lu Weiyin fell into a disadvantage. Fairy Ming Hao and Fairy Yu Shu were very powerful. They each had a mature combat system. Fairy Ming Hao's flying stars seemed like a singular move, but they were all consecutive moves. By repeatedly hitting the same target, Fang Yuan would have to endure increasing damage each time. Fairy Yu Shu's methods were also very profound. She used her attainment level to suppress others. It was hard for ordinary GU immortals to find a countermeasure. Lu Weiyin fell into a tough battle due to Fairy Yu Shu's focus on him. While Fang Yuan also had a taste of the power of Fairy Ming Hao's pride GU. Thoughts collided in Fang Yuan's mind with great issues. Many powerful and complex killer moves could not be used, the risks were too great. And most importantly, Ming Hao and Yu Shu had incredibly well-coordinated cooperation. Their coordination was extraordinary. Fang Yuan had never seen anything like it before. Because of this, while Fang Yuan and Lu Weiyin worked together, they were suppressed by the two fairies. The cooperation of Yu Shu and Ming Hao has produced a qualitative change. If I fought alone, I would have lost already. Lu Weiyin had a solemn mood. The opponents were working together impeccably. Their cooperation was simply not humanly possible. They gave off a natural feeling, as if it was only reasonable for them to work together this perfectly. While Ming Hao and Yu Shu fought against Fang Yuan and Lu Weiyin, they even had time to help Divine Emperor City resist Calamity Luck Altar. Fang Yuan, you want Thieving Heaven's true inheritance? Fairy Yu Shu smiled. Then you need to know that Giant Sun Immortal Venerable had once been here and damaged Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. He took out a portion of the true inheritance by force. Thankfully, you are allies, you can ask for it. Fairy Yu Shu easily tried to sow discord. Fang Yuan snorted coldly as he said to Lu Weiyin, go deal with Divine Emperor City, I will handle these two. Lord Fang Yuan, without me, if you fight alone. Lu Weiyin was hesitant. Fang Yuan looked at him coldly. Leave, you are hindering me. Lu Weiyin gritted his teeth as he flew away from Fang Yuan. Seeing this change, Fairy Ming Hao and Yu Shu saw the weakness in their enemies. They looked at each other before launching rapid attacks at Fang Yuan together. Fang Yuan opened his Immortal Aperture's entrance and let out a young GU Immortal. Rank 8 Transformation Path GU Immortal Zon Bu Du. Immortal Killer Move, Incomplete Freedom Transformation. The young man shouted as a blood-red cape appeared on his back, fluttering with the wind. I became handsome, I became stronger. Zon Bu Du clenched his fist, staring at the two female immortals with a shining gaze filled with surging fighting spirit. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2175, Giant Sun Takes Action. Chapter 2175, Giant Sun Takes Action. In Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space, the battle between two immortal GU houses had been ongoing for some time. It was very intense. Come fight, Zon Bu Du shouted as he descended like a ferocious dragon, charging towards the two heavenly court pseudo-venerables, Yu Shu and Ming Hao. Yu Shu and Ming Hao split up at once, retreating at the same time as they created a long distance. Zon Bu Du missed his target again. He snorted coldly with some anger internally. He was one of Fang Yuan's clones. He cultivated Transformation Path and rose to rank 8, he had his own totem killer moves. But his own battle strength was still far from the peak of rank 8, he was not the match of experts like Qin Dingling or Wu Yang. But once he used the killer move Incomplete Freedom Transformation, he would instantly reach pseudo-venerable battle strength. Incomplete Freedom Transformation was not simple at all, it was extraordinary. This transformation was made up of 3 moves. Internal Breathing Green Fish Transformation, Devouring Blue Leopard Transformation, and Thunder Rush Yellow Bird Transformation. After Zon Bu Du used Incomplete Freedom Transformation, he gained the advantages of all 3 killer moves without any of their drawbacks. He could move like lightning, shoot out lightning bolts, possess immense recovery and regeneration, and also the ability to devour all attacks. Even though he was human, each action held divine strength that could intimidate demons or deities. He could directly suppress all immemorial desolate beasts or plants. He was basically a moving calamity that could fight heaven and earth, dominating all that were in his way. Even Ming Hao and Yu Shu did not dare to fight Zanbi Yudu head-on, they engaged with him from a distance. However, when their various killer moves got close to Zanbi Yudu, they would either be devoured or endured forcefully, before his regeneration took place and healed his body completely. After a few rounds of combat, Ming Hao and Yu Shu lost their enthusiasm to fight against Zanbi Yudu. The enemy was too resilient but also very fast. Thankfully, he lacked in the wisdom path aspect, while Yu Shu and Ming Hao were experts in this. Thus, they started to use wisdom path killer moves to weaken Zanbi Yudu, while deducing and preempting many of his attacks to dodge them. It was very wise that Fang Yuan gave incomplete freedom transformation to Zanbi Yudu. He was a pseudo-venerable in the first place. Using incomplete freedom transformation was quite wasteful, giving it to Zanbi Yudu would produce another pseudo-venerable instantly. Once Zanbi Yudu took action, the situation changed. Fang Yuan and Zanbi Yudu worked together to deal with Ming Hao and Yu Shu. They regained their footing as Heavenly Court lost the initiative. They went into a deadlock again. Zanbi Yudu frowned deeply. These two are extremely slippery and utilize their advantages well. I am unable to use my expertise against them. And their cooperation is simply too fluid. Even though the main body and I have the closest of relationships, we are still not as well coordinated as them. It is likely because they are both wisdom path great experts. Rumble. While moving around, both sides launched killer moves again, causing a beautiful display of fireworks to occur. The firepower was getting more intense. Fang Yuan's main body was still showing a cold expression. Ming Hao and Yu Shu were also secretly scheming. From the start, Fang Yuan has not been using his full strength. He is making deductions while fighting. He wants to deduce the location of Thieving Heaven's true inheritance. Fairy Yu Shu was very clear of her enemy's actions. Fairy Ming Hao gritted her teeth. He also has the Qi Si clone, that is another pseudo-venerable battle strength. If he is let out, this will get more troublesome. If we work together, we can resist the three of them for now, but this crafty Fang Yuan will definitely use the numbers to his advantage. He will ignore us and focus on Divine Emperor City. Heavenly Court actually knew about Qi Si ancestors' true identity. As it turned out, Qin Dingling knew this secret some time ago, but she did not expose him at that time. During the pursuit battle against Fang Yuan, Heavenly Court did not know. But afterwards, Qin Dingling learned about the truth from Heavenly Court Grotto Heaven. After all, the Qi Si clone was created in Heavenly Court. Heavenly Court's Qi harvest fruit was used in the process. Heavenly Court had existed for millions of years. It naturally had ways to find out. Precisely because of that, when the Qi Si clone used the name of the Righteous Qi Alliance and invited Heavenly Court to send GU Immortals against Fang Yuan, Qin Dingling did not give an affirmative response. Fairy Yu Shu transmitted. Qin Dingling is a passable leader of Heavenly Court. When Heavenly Court lacked a pseudo-venerable battle strength, she controlled herself and caused Fang Yuan to be misled into thinking that the Qi Si clone was not be exposed, thus not using him now. Right now, we are benefiting from that. Fairy Ming Hao nodded secretly. We can't kill Fang Yuan here, but we cannot let him obtain the Thieving Heaven true inheritance here. We need to try and destroy this true inheritance space from the inside. The battle intensified, but the strange thing was that neither side truly treated the opponent as their opponent. Fang Yuan was doing his best to make deductions. He was not using his full strength in battle. Zanbi Yudu was sent out to restrain the two Heavenly Court pseudo-venerables as well. After all, he could cooperate better with his clone compared to Lu Weiyin. Meanwhile, Heavenly Court focused on destroying Thieving Heaven's true inheritance. As for Longevity Heaven, Calamity Luck Altar had been finding trouble with Divine Emperor City. All sorts of killer moves were unleashed without restraint, not caring about this true inheritance space. Evidently, regardless of what Immortal Zombie Giant Sun was after, he still had the intention to destroy this space so Fang Yuan could not gain anything. Even though Longevity Heaven was allied with Fang Yuan, they were only doing so out of pressure from Heavenly Court. They did not want to see Fang Yuan get any more help. Especially when this help came from Thieving Heaven. Divine Emperor City's green light continued to shine densely, defending it from any attacks no matter how fierce or intense they were. Divine Emperor City was not only defending itself, it also had offenses. Immortal Killer Move, Divine Bean Soldier. Yellow Bean Soldiers charged ahead, Green Bean Soldiers shot out arrows like rain, Red Bean Soldiers self-detonated, Black Bean Soldiers defended at the center. There were also Blue and White Bean Soldiers mixed among them, having their own tasks. Each time Lu Weiyin attacked Divine Emperor City, he would face the encirclement of these Divine Bean Soldiers. Lu Weiyin used his offensive killer moves and caused great losses to these Divine Being soldiers, less than 10% of them survived. This result shocked Lu Weiyin. Despite him being specialized in defense, his offensive methods were also at the peak of rank 8, to think that he could not completely eliminate these Divine Being soldiers. The reason was because of Divine Emperor City's other move, Graft Wood. This move could allow the Divine Being soldiers to be connected together and share the damage they suffered. The bulk of the damage went to Divine Emperor City, while the Divine Being soldiers bore the rest of the burden. Thus, these Divine Being soldiers were very hard to kill in battle. After Lu Weiyin spent a long time to break out of the encirclement, when he approached Divine Emperor City, countless lightning bolts shot towards him. It was a mortal killer move, myriad life spring lightning. Countless sparks that resembled dragons or snakes, as well as jade green lightning balls that exploded. After they exploded, the remaining wood path Dao marks would remain in the area and modify this battlefield gradually. Thankfully, this was Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space and not the 5 regions, thus this move's power could not be fully displayed. After Lu Weiyin endured the lightning bolts and got closer, the jade lights around Divine Emperor City started to turn into spirals as they shot out painting path killer moves. These painting figures had countless forms, like flowers, birds, fishes, or insects. They were extremely varied and gave Lu Weiyin a huge problem. Painting path is very unique. My attacks cannot get rid of them, I can't conceal myself with my defensive methods either, this is a problem. Painting path was kept as a secret by Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable. This was Lu Weiyin's first encounter with it, there was no helping it, he felt he was without options. Lu Weiyin was unable to break Divine Emperor City's defense. Calamity Luck Altar was similar. Calamity Luck Altar was a rank 8 Luck Path Immortal GU house. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable created it personally. It displayed great might during the Fate War, but right now, it could not do anything to Divine Emperor City. The reason was that Divine Emperor City shot out rays of white light from time to time. Calamity Luck Altar had to dodge them each time without being careless. This was Human Path Killer move, Broken Homes and Dead Family. This move countered Immortal GU houses. During the Fate War, Immortal GU house Chicken Dog Co-op was only grazed by it and the entire Immortal GU house broke apart without a single GU Immortal inside surviving. This was the Human Path offensive killer move that Star Constellation Immortal Venerable created. Calamity Luck Altar was restrained by it. At once, Calamity Luck Altar could only guard the surroundings. This structure with 3 floors of round altars and multiple pillars holding it up, having white jade railings and shining aurora, was acting like an irritating fly that was moving around a person. However, it was also not strange. Calamity Luck Altar displayed great might earlier when fighting against GU Immortals. The truth was, its most valuable method was the killer move Calamity Luck Revolution. This move could turn all sorts of calamities and tribulations into becoming harmless to the immortal aperture, instead nourishing it accordingly. Longevity Heaven relied on Calamity Luck Altar to survive countless tribulations and grow over time. That was the use of Calamity Luck Altar. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable left it in Longevity Heaven before dying for this reason as well. Divine Emperor City, Painting World. Fang Dichong and Shen Shang work together to comprehend the mysteries within. There is a huge disturbance in the outside world, it is likely a huge battle. Divine Emperor City possesses the methods of Divine Being Palace and Emperor City. Now that these methods are used so frequently, it shows that the ones attacking Divine Emperor City are not weaklings. Shen Shang said. This was a good thing for them. The more these methods were used, the more they could observe and comprehend the wood path, painting path and human path profundities within. Is it my main body attacking Divine Emperor City now? Fang Dichong guessed. Or maybe someone is trying to save the existences within Growling Beast Painting World and Chi Howling Painting World. Right at this time, Shen Shang's and Fang Dichang's expressions changed. They stood up in shock as their gazes pierced through the room, towards the painting world's sky. In the sky, golden aurora gathered into 2 giant hands. These 2 hands shrouded heaven and earth. They were unimaginably big. The left hand grabbed Chi Howling Painting World while the right hand grabbed Growling Beast Painting World. Genesis Lotus, Will growled loudly. The power of Painting Path burst out to suppress the 2 giant hands. Within Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. The battle was at the final critical moment. The entirety of Thieving Heaven's space was covered in black lines, at the brink of destruction. Zhan Yudu gritted his teeth. He felt anxious internally. The main body has not deduced the true location yet, he might not make it in time. The time is now. Within Calamity Luck Altar, Immortal Zombie Giant Sun took a look at Fang Yuan before taking a step out. At the next moment, he appeared on the battlefield. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., Please let us know less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2176 Primordial Domain. Chapter 2176, Primordial Domain. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable. Fang Yuan's pupils contracted, even though he had a guess already, he could not help but feel internally moved. Golden light burst out in the battlefield, Divine Emperor City shook intensely as if something was breaking out from within. Immortal Zombie Giant Sun bellowed. In the painting worlds, countless citizens looked up at the sky dumbstruck. They saw two hands flying in the sky, directly smashing two huge holes in the painting worlds. The two hands flew out of Divine Emperor City unobstructed, disintegrating in the battlefield, revealing Demon Immortal Qi-Ju and Mao Li-Chu. I was saved. Demon Immortal Qi-Ju was filled with surprise and joy. Master. Mao Li-Chu saw Immortal Zombie Giant Sun and was choked with tears. I knew you would come and save me, woof. Mao Li-Chu's body immediately shrunk, it became tiny and jumped into Immortal Zombie Giant Sun's arms. Immortal Zombie Giant Sun showed a doting smile as he petted Mao Li-Chu's head. You are still the same, you bark like a dog when you are excited. Woof woof woof. Mao Li-Chu looked up at its master and barked with tears flowing out of its eyes. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, he has already recovered to this degree. Fairy Minghao was shocked. Ignore him, use our full strength to stall Fang Yuan, we are about to destroy Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space. Fairy Yushu reminded. Fang Yuan snorted coldly, opening his immortal aperture's entrance. Qi-Si Ancestor flew out. Immortal Killer Move, Unlimited Qi-Si. At once, vast Qi surged, rushing towards him from all directions. Minghao and Yushu were intercepted by this move, while Fang Yuan used the chance to dive into the five-colored smoke. It's here, he finally found the location of Thieving Heaven's true inheritance. The five-colored smoke had reached it already. Fang Yuan instantly went there and took away the remaining content of Thieving Heaven's true inheritance. At almost the next moment, Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space collapsed. Quickly leave, Lu Wei-Yin and the rest quickly retreated. After Fang Yuan withdrew the 5 regional limit formation and became the last person to leave, Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space vanished into thin air at almost the same time. He succeeded after all. Fairy Minghao sighed. Fairy Yushu smiled. This true inheritance has been half devastated already, no need to worry, our goal has been achieved in this fight. Let's go, the crucial part starts now. Fairy Yushu stored Divine Emperor City, the two immortals vanished instantly. Seeing this, Fang Yuan revealed an expression of contemplation. Lord Fang Yuan. Lu Wei-Yin quickly gathered alongside Zhan Yudu, Qi-Si Ancestor, and Fang Yuan. At the other side, there was Calamity Luck Altar and Immortal Zombie Giant Sun. Both sides did not talk, even though they were allies, they both knew about the dependability level of their alliance. 4 pseudo-venerable battle strengths, Bing Sai Chuan, who was within Calamity Luck Altar, was tongue-tied. In just a short period, Fang Yuan's strength had grown to such a level. Longevity Heaven's GU Immortals were not fools, the moment Qi-Si Ancestor appeared, they realized he was Fang Yuan's clone. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, Fang Yuan looked at Immortal Zombie Giant Sun as he squinted, maintaining silence. Even though the other party was an immortal zombie now, he still had extraordinary strength and profound methods. The moment he took action, he broke into Divine Emperor City and saved Demon Immortal Qi-Ju and Mao Li-Chu, who were sealed inside the painting worlds. Right now, Mao Li-Chu was curled up in Immortal Zombie Giant Sun's arms, wagging its tail in joy. How could one even imagine that this was a proud legendary immemorial beast? As for Demon Immortal Qi-Ju, he stood at one side without much embarrassment, his expression was hesitant and suspicious. He was saved by Immortal Zombie Giant Sun, but the moment he came out, he saw Longevity Heaven, Heavenly Court, and Fang Yuan in a three-way battle. After that, Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space got destroyed. What in the world was happening? The scale of the battle was huge, the situation was complex, Demon Immortal Qi-Ju could not process it immediately. Fang Yuan. Immortal Zombie Giant Sun nodded at Fang Yuan, taking the initiative to speak. This is Heavenly Court's scheme. Fang Yuan raised his brows. Oh. How so? Immortal Zombie Giant Sun pointed at the place where Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space was destroyed. According to what I know, Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space was added and much later, it was used to salvage the situation. Because it greatly affected Limitless Demon Venerable's derivation, its destruction is something that Limitless Will is happy to see. At the same time, Heavenly Court's Fangya is trying to deduce Limitless Demon Venerable's arrangements. She is also obstructed by this space. Now that it is destroyed, her progress will be smooth sailing. Earlier, when I deduced limitless arrangements, I had fought against her from afar. She is the strongest wisdom path expert among the 3 pseudo-venerables. She has already come into contact with the other core of the 9th layer, primordial domain. Heavenly Court came here to obstruct you from getting thieving heaven's true inheritance on the surface, but their true intention was to force me to take action by using the captives in Divine Emperor City as bait. Without my obstruction, seeing that Fengya has not shown up even now, it is likely that they have made a breakthrough there. Their advantage and initiative has grown even larger. The moment Immortal Zombie Giant Sun finished his words, Feng Yuan's expression changed slightly. The other Immortal's pupils shrank, along with Immortal Zombie Giant Sun, they all turned towards the direction of Green Lotus Great World. The Immortals looked past a vast distance, seeing that at the center of Green Lotus Great World, a lump of phantom image appeared at the peak of Book Mountain. This phantom image was pure white and humongous. It was far larger than even Book Mountain, having the shape of a ball, with the inner area shining dazzlingly with white light. The Immortals were all shaken. Lu Weiyin's expression turned ugly as he said, "Primordial Domain. Less than the legends of Ren Zhu greater than, Chapter 5, Section 36 states. Carefree Wisdom Heart was born, she was intelligent and witty, Ren Zhu liked his 8th child a lot. But at the same time, Ren Zhu was vexed. My mind shattered, what do? I cannot store more knowledge anymore. Sigh, it seems that only the 2 of you can help me now." Thus, Carefree Wisdom Heart and Great Strength True Martial used their own minds to store up more knowledge. They filled their minds with knowledge, before moving along with Ren Zhu. Ren Zhu and his children started their 3rd attempt. Before they took a step, they would scatter ink text and knowledge, the text would describe their knowledge and form a small black path. Ren Zhu and his children walked on this small path. But when they finished using their knowledge and reached the end of the ink text path, they did not see any signs of wisdom Gu. Ren Zhu's 3rd attempt failed again. Great Strength True Martial shrugged in disappointment. What do we do now? We have already done our best, but our knowledge is still insufficient. We cannot hold any more knowledge in our minds. Ren Zhu sighed, he was also quite helpless. At this time, Hope Gu flew out. Oh human, don't be disappointed, I am here. Ren Zhu was surprised. How can you help me? Hope Gu answered. Oh human, I can awaken your aperture. 1. Hope allowed people to gain enlightenment, awaken their aperture. Thus, Hope Gu exerted effort to create an aperture for Ren Zhu. Humility Gu laughed. Then let me help you as well, human. When you have humility, your capacity will be larger, you will be able to hold more things. Thus, the aperture expanded in size. Ren Zhu obtained the aperture and felt very happy. This place is really huge, I can store so much knowledge. This is wonderful. Ren Zhu and his children went to Book Mountain again, they refined their knowledge and searched for ink text. Ren Zhu stored a lot of knowledge into his aperture, even he did not know the quantity he took. Ren Zhu and his children set off on their 4th journey, they stepped on the ink text path and entered deep into Qian Kun Crystal Wall. They went very deeply and searched many places, they changed directions countless times but still could not find wisdom Gu. They had no choice but to return to Book Mountain. This time, because the exploration took too long, the ink text path that they created when they set off was unable to endure the endless barrage of information, a large portion of it faded away. Ren Zhu found the Inkman Elder and asked, why can't we find wisdom Gu? The Inkman Elder replied, sometimes, when we Inkmen explore the place, we would encounter wisdom Gu. But you 3 have searched the entire Qian Kun Crystal Wall but did not find wisdom Gu, it means that it is intentionally hiding from you, it does not want to meet you. Carefree Wisdom Heart quickly asked, then where is wisdom Gu hiding at? The Inkman Elder pondered and said, oh humans, you have searched the entire Qian Kun Crystal Wall. If wisdom Gu is still inside here, it can only hide in one place. That place is called Primordial Domain, it is the most mysterious part of Qian Kun Crystal Wall. Qian Kun Crystal Wall has a record of everything that happens in the world, it contains infinite information. Primordial Domain contains the information of the world since creation, it also has the information of the ends of all living beings. It is both the starting point and the ending point. It has nothing, yet it comprises everything. Great Strength True Martial was overjoyed. We have not gone to Primordial Domain yet. Oh Inkman Elder, tell us how to get into the Primordial Domain. The Inkman Elder shook his head. It is not that I do not want to help you, but we Inkmen have also only heard of the location, we have never entered it. Oh humans, we Inkmen admire you a lot. You possess knowledge that far surpasses us, thus, if you want to enter Primordial Domain, you need to rely on yourselves. Ren Zhu and his children had to make their own research. Carefree Wisdom Heart had a find, she shouted joyfully, I found it, I found it. Oh daughter, what did you find, why are you so excited? Ren Zhu asked in curiosity. Carefree Wisdom Heart opened both her palms. On my right palm, I found right GU. On my left palm, I found wrong GU. These two GU are born in your body, they are ordinary looking and are much less presentable than my authority GU. What help can they give us? Great Strength True Marshal was very prideful, he spoke nonchalantly. Carefree Wisdom Heart answered. These two GU allow us to differentiate and classify our knowledge. Look at our knowledge again, the truth is, much of it is right at this moment, but after some time, those pieces of information will be wrong. There is also much of it that is right when placed here, but wrong when placed there. I think that if we use the knowledge that is always right at all times and use it to make our text path, we will be able to reach primordial domain. Ren Zhu nodded. Your words are quite logical. Let us try it. But no matter how they looked, they could not find such knowledge. Great Strength True Marshal Strong Gu said proudly, Oh humans, you are wasting your effort. Because in this world, there has only been strong and weak, there has never been right or wrong, thus, your actions are in vain, you cannot classify right and wrong. 1. Awaken aperture in Chinese can also mean enlightenment, reach and understanding. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2177 Venerable Invincibility. Chapter 2177, Venerable Invincibility. Qian Kun Crystal Wall contains everything that happens in the world, all of the information comprises genuine events with no lies. Using right and wrong will not be able to differentiate them at all, because since they exist, or rather, since they existed, they are all logical information. Carefree Wisdom Heart was criticized, but her eyes shined with bright light. I get it, the existence of everyone in the world, regardless of right or wrong, is logical, because this is the true meaning of their existence. This is what true meaning is. Be it information or knowledge, they are a type of expression of true meaning, a form of revelation. If we can grasp true meaning, not only can we explain what is right, we can also explain what is wrong, it can explain everything. Let us search for it. The three of them started to dig up true meaning from the vast sea of knowledge. Great Strength True Marshal was the first to get impatient. Ren Zhu also lost his perseverance soon, but only Carefree Wisdom Heart remained calm and composed, her expression was serious and solemn. After a long time, Great Strength True Marshal pointed at Carefree Wisdom Heart, he gasped in shock. Look, another GU grew on your body. The newly born GU was called Serious GU. After Carefree Wisdom Heart obtained it, she became very happy. With this GU, I will be able to recognize true meaning more easily. After a long time, Ren Zhu pointed at Carefree Wisdom Heart as well. Look, another GU appeared on your body. The second GU was called Learning GU. Carefree Wisdom Heart started to learn knowledge, she converted knowledge into things that she truly understood, she was no longer just storing them using memory GU. She started to understand more and more knowledge. Soon, a third GU appeared on her body. The third GU was called Talent GU. I found it, I found it. One day, Carefree Wisdom Heart shouted with joy, with the help of Self-Will GU, Learning GU, and Talent GU, she finally found the true meaning of knowledge. Quickly tell us, what does true meaning look like? Great Strength True Marshal was very happy as he asked. But Carefree Wisdom Heart shook her head. The true meaning contained within will be lost if I try to convey it in words. Then write it out using ink text. Great Strength True Marshal thought about it and suggested. But Carefree Wisdom Heart shook her head again. The meaning can only be understood, it cannot be passed down in text. Ren Zhu waved his hand. Forget it, since you possess true meaning now, let's head out immediately. Carefree Wisdom Heart was filled with true meaning. They set off from Book Mountain as she scattered ink text on the ground. The path was much wider than before, it was also more sturdy. Ren Zhu and his children walked on the great path and arrived in Primordial Domain. Within Primordial Domain, they met Wisdom GU. Wisdom GU was quite helpless, it had already hidden itself so deeply, but Ren Zhu still found it. Self GU managed to take a bite out of it in the end. Crazed Demon Cave, 8th layer. Center of Green Lotus Great World. At the peak of Book Mountain, everyone was present. Che Wei took the 5th seat, Qin Ding Ling took the 4th, Fairy Ming Hao took the 3rd, Fairy Yu Shu took the 2nd, while Fairy Feng Ya took the main seat. Fairy Feng Ya's hair was tied up in a bun, she was old but not wrinkled, she retained her beauty and elegance. Her entire body was covered in a thin layer of dazzling light. It was the sign that she possessed talent Gu. Currently, she was taking charge of the situation, exerting power in secret to force primordial domain to appear at the top of Book Mountain. After Thieving Heaven's space was destroyed, Yu Shu and Ming Hao brought all of their troops with them as they teleported back to Fairy Feng Ya's side. Fairy Ming Hao sighed. To think that giant sun Immortal Venerable had such deep painting path attainment, he easily managed to save Mao Li Chu. Heavenly Court had indeed wanted to use Mao Li Chu and the rest to force giant sun Immortal Venerable to take action. Heavenly Court was clear of giant sun Immortal Venerable's protective nature towards his descendants and kin. But unexpectedly, giant sun Immortal Venerable managed to easily save the captives without issue. He is a former Immortal Venerable after all, this is nothing strange. Qin Dingling said. Furthermore, our side benefited the most from this battle. Fairy Yu Shu was hesitant. It is still unclear which side benefited the most. We expanded our advantage while giant sun Immortal Venerable took back Mao Li Chu, and Fang Yuan also obtained the remainder of Thieving Heaven's true inheritance. For some reason, I am feeling quite uneasy. Fairy Feng Ya looked at primordial domain in the sky as she said. The situation is clear now, Giant Sun and Fang Yuan will send their troops against us. We will remain here and stay on the defense. As long as we can endure their attacks, we will grasp the key to this battle and return victorious. We will rebuild the glory of Heavenly Court. Everyone, do you have confidence in this? Hearing this, the Heavenly Court GU Immortals were riled up with great morale. They answered together. It was all thanks to Lady Feng Ya's planning that we have such a great advantage now. We need to defend it at all cost. We cannot lose again. Even if we sacrifice our lives, there is no regret. In my opinion, even though there are many enemies, Giant Sun and Fang Yuan will not work together sincerely, they will be guarded against each other. Yellow Earth Great World. Lu Weiyin looked at Fang Yuan and frowned deeply. Primordial domain has appeared. Heavenly Court's wisdom path attainment is truly incredible. We cannot wait any longer. The situation is really terrible. Primordial domain had already been exposed, but Heavenly Court only managed to get that far. They had not truly obtained it yet. Even so, Heavenly Court's advantage was immense. Because primordial domain was far more important and crucial than Book Mountain. As long as a Venerable entered primordial domain, they would regain their supreme attainment level and become a Tao Lord again. Whoever entered primordial domain first would turn the advantage into victory. They would be the eventual winner of this crazed demon cave battle. Not only that, after this, when the Venerable who became a Tao Lord went back to the 5 regions, they would take control of the world's situation. Thus, they would likely become the winner of the 5 regions' chaotic war, ending up as the new ruler of the world. Lord Fang Yuan, Heavenly Court is about to obtain primordial domain. We need to attack with full force. If we cannot stop Heavenly Court, we will experience defeat this time. Lu Weiyin said with determination. Originally, his tactic was to defend first and retaliate later, but now, they had no choice but to go on the offense. How do we use our full strength? Fang Yuan asked. Lu Weiyin showed a conflicted expression immediately. Heavenly Court had a clear wisdom path advantage. Ever since the start of the crazed demon cave battle, Heavenly Court had held the initiative and advantage at all times. Heavenly Court's 3 pseudo-venerables cultivated wisdom path. Due to their planning and foresight, their advantage was not just maintained, it was even expanded. Right now, Heavenly Court even managed to draw out the other core of the 9th layer, primordial domain. And more terrifyingly, they did not cause limitless demon venerables retaliative method to trigger. This meant that Heavenly Court had already comprehended a lot of the 9th layer's profundity. They were able to avoid limitless method from activating. All along, Fang Yuan did not see limitless will manifesting. It was likely that it had already been destroyed. Lu Weiyin sighed deeply in admiration. Back then, limitless demon venerable fought his way to Heavenly Court and forced star constellations will to play a game of chess with him. They comprehended and deduced together, obtaining all sorts of heaven path research results that were secretly sent into crazed demon cave for the derivation here. But at the same time, Heavenly Court's methods also infiltrated crazed demon cave. When Heavenly Court managed to draw out Book Mountain from the 9th layer, I had already felt something amiss. Now that they are about to bring out primordial domain, I can see that their wisdom path attainment is truly unmatched. Now that Heavenly Court has the initiative and territorial advantage, we are all forced to attack them while they only need to defend. And the worst thing is that we cannot truly use our full strength. Fang Yuan nodded slightly. That is also my worry. Heavenly Court is skilled in wisdom path. Why would they not know that both of our sides are going to attack them desperately? But they still went ahead with this. It means that they are confident in stopping our attacks. And their confidence might likely stem from Crazed Demon Cave. Heavenly Court was able to bring out Book Mountain earlier. They also took out Primordial Domain now without activating Limitless Demon Venerable's retaliation. One reason was their superb Wisdom Path method, the other was that Heavenly Court's infiltration of Crazed Demon Cave had lasted for over 1,000,000 years. They had deep foundations. Fang Yuan could clearly not reach that level of understanding. If he used his full strength, he would likely face Limitless Retaliative method. This meant that Heavenly Court was making use of Limitless Demon Venerable. This is the problem with fighting Wisdom Path experts. Lu Weiyin continued frowning. The truth was, he still had a deep worry internally but he could not express it. That was Gu Fang Yuan's strength. Fang Yuan was a pseudo-venerable indeed with outstanding strength. He was the strongest person in the world before the trip to Crazed Demon Cave. But now, he was facing Giant Sun Immortal Venerable and Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. The appearance of Immortal Zombie Giant Sun was a huge blow to Lu Weiyin. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, who had yet to appear, also placed a huge pressure on him internally. Could Fang Yuan fight against these two enemies? The truth was, Lu Weiyin had no confidence in him. Venerables were invincible. This was the truth of the world in the last few million years of human history. Because Lu Weiyin had no confidence, he made the plan earlier to defend first and retaliate later. Fang Yuan might be able to defend against a venerable for some time, but only a venerable could defeat a venerable. These were Lu Weiyin's true thoughts. At the same time, Fang Yuan's subordinates had the same mentality. Even if these people idolized and admired him, they were not brazen enough to think that Fang Yuan could defeat a venerable. Venerables were invincible. Back then, during Primordial Origins era, variant humans ruled the world. Did they lack pseudo-venerable battle strengths? They had them, and the numbers were not few. But they had never held any hope of defeating a venerable. Indeed, Fang Yuan had unfathomable strength and was able to easily defeat other pseudo-venerable GU immortals. But this was not strange. Even though pseudo-venerables surpassed the peak of rank 8, among themselves, their difference in strength could still be huge. But if Fang Yuan had to fight against a venerable, nobody would think that he could win, they would only think of how long he could last. As long as Fang Yuan lasts until Lord Paradise Earth revives, we will win. But now, Heavenly Court is pressuring us to take action. If we fight now, we might not make it in time for Lord Paradise Earth's revival. Lu Weiyin felt like a stone was weighing down on his heart. Fang Yuan looked at the primordial domain far away as he said expressionlessly, "The situation is as such, we have to attack forcefully. Let's follow our agreement with Longevity Heaven earlier and send out our subordinates. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc. please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 2178 Intense Battle. Chapter 2178, Intense Battle. Crazed Demon Cave, 8th Layer. Primordial Domain's silhouette remained motionless in the sky, it was getting more vivid and condensed. The fusion of Green Lotus Great World, Yellow Earth Great World, and Savage Wilderness Great World was also getting deeper, only a small part of the boundary walls remained to obstruct their connection. All of the small worlds had already fused into the 3 Great Worlds. Savage Wilderness Great World gained the greatest benefits, they had the most people. This was thanks to Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's Heaven and Earth Luck method, causing most of the small worlds to fall towards Savage Wilderness Great World. Fang Yuan sent out almost all his GU cultivators, charging towards Heavenly Court's Book Mountain. Longevity Heaven also sent troops with surging might and morale. Heavenly Court was already prepared against them. Duanhu and Ni Kuangfeng led their troops as they defended on both sides. "As long as it is not a sage, nobody is my match," Ni Kuangfeng roared. It swept around with a huge fierce wind. The entire battlefield was pressured with wind, creating a great commotion. "The enemy is in front of us, we need to work together to obtain victory." Xiao Hejian looked at Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch, the latter nodded with a solemn expression. In the earlier battle, these 2 variant human GU immortals had fought against Ni Kuangfeng and lost individually. Not only did many GU immortals die, Xiao Hejian and Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch were also heavily damaged, they barely survived. This time, after recovering their strength entirely, they decided to face Ni Kuangfeng together, putting down their grudges and rivalry. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch waved his hands imposingly as frost chi shot out, shrouding Ni Kuangfeng and slowing its movement, reducing its speed. Xiao Hejian shot out green leaf blades that moved from all directions, they had impressive power. Ni Kuangfeng whipped up a strong wind, Heaven and earth changed colors, the leaves and frost winds were scattered everywhere. Immortal killer move, extreme ice crystal light immortal suppression coffin. Ice crystal immortal monarch gave a roar, his aura got completely concealed, not a single bit leaked out. At the next moment, his entire body exploded and spread out into countless frost lights. The frost lights shot out with extreme coldness. Everywhere they went, air would freeze into ice crystals before falling to the ground. Ni Kuang-feng was shocked. It tried to dodge, but how could it avoid in time? It was shot by countless crystal lights, sealed in the mountain-like ice coffin. The thicker the ice, the stronger the amplification of the crystal lights that land on me. Ni Kuang-feng struggled desperately but could not escape. Facing the pressure of death, it went into demonization. Crack. From the inside, cracks started to appear and spread around the ice coffin. Oh no, I can't trap it anymore. Ice crystal immortal monarch sensed the threat. But at this point, Xiao Hejian's move was finally prepared. Immortal killer move, cut grass. Xiao Hejian's palms slashed down like blades, aiming at Ni Kuang-feng, who was stuck inside the ice coffin. Immediately, 2 blades of leaves appeared and fell slowly, stabbing into the cracks between the ice and piercing Ni Kuang-feng's body. Ni Kuang-feng's body instantly shook. Xiao Hejian attacked without stopping. Ni Kuang-feng's body shook as the green tornado got weaker and thinner, its resistance also started to fall. I am willing to surrender, Ni Kuang-feng said weakly. Our master has orders, we will not accept anyone's surrender. Xiao Hejian replied coldly. In the end, Ni Kuang-feng lost its life at the hands of Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch and Xiao Hejian. Once Ni Kuang-feng died, the mutant GU Immortals were left without a leader, many were killed while the rest escaped in desperation. Fang Yuan's army charged forward and reached the base of Book Mountain. At the other end, Space Extremity and Desolate Extremity of Longevity Heaven's 8 extremities worked together and killed Duanhu. The 2 armies arrived at the center of Green Lotus Great World. Heavenly Court had only obtained Book Mountain recently, they only managed to set up their formation around it. This formation was known as 4-Way Star Formation. It had 4 sub-formations in 4 different directions, defending Book Mountain tightly with no gaps present. At the peak of Book Mountain, Fairy Fengya continued to use her killer move without stopping, drawing out Primordial Domain, which was in the sky. The 2 armies discussed for a while before attacking the 4 sub-formations. Mao Lichu led its group to attack the West Formation. Gai Mei led a group to attack the North Formation. Xiao Hejian led a group to attack the East Formation. Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch led a group to attack the South Formation. The remaining ones were led by Bing Sai Chuan and Lu Wei Yin. They firmly supported the 4 vanguard groups. The moment Mao Lichu entered the formation, countless starlight specks shot down like a torrential rain with countless droplets. Mao Lichu growled as it expanded and became much larger. Its purple fur was smooth and thick, the starlight could not penetrate it. It charged around in the sub-formation with other GU Immortals following it, attacking, killing, and causing destruction. Vile beast, you are here to cause problems again. We will kill you this time. The star formation shook as 2 GU Immortals flew in. 9 Spiritual Fairy and Prince Feng Xian. 9 Spiritual Fairy turned into an immemorial desolate beast to block Mao Lichu. The transformed immemorial desolate beast was superior to the real immemorial desolate beast. Mao Lichu was soon suppressed, its energy was expended and its body was hurting. Prince Feng Xian activated his Fire Path Killer move. All sorts of birds rained down with flames, killing more than 10 mutant GU Immortals of Savage Wilderness Great World in one move. Mao Lichu was unable to resist, it had to retreat. Elsewhere, Gai Mei went up against Zhou Shangxin and Zhen Shenguang. Zhou Shangxin activated Information Path Killer move and attacked, while Zhen Shenguang turned into a ray of light to support him. They worked together in unison with one as the attacker and one as support. Yellow Extremity Zhao Huo used a Totem Killer move and fought against Zhou Shangxin, they were evenly matched. But Gai Mei, on the other hand, was shouting loudly, he was running around and dodging Zhen Shenguang's attacks. Quickly go, quickly go. Gai Mei grabbed onto Zhao Huo's shoulder and dragged him away, ignoring the latter's stare. Longevity Heaven's 2 groups returned without result, Fang Yuan's 2 groups were even worse. Xiao Hejian and Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch were trapped, they could not even retreat. These 2 immortals met with Heavenly Court's Che Wei and Wan Zihong. They are in great danger, quickly send help. The reinforcement letter had already reached Lu Wei Yin. Che Wei created Weapon Path, his methods were getting more mature, his status was only below Qin Ding Ling. Wan Zihong was originally a demonic immortal of Western Desert, she was recruited by Heavenly Court. During the Fate War, She displayed great abilities, and now that her immortal GU were fully with her, her battle strength returned to its peak, she was very powerful. Bing Sai-chuan and Lu Wei-yin held an emergency meeting. This four-way star formation is a star path formation, we cannot take it down by force. It is simply too hard with Heavenly Court's elites guarding all four areas. Lord Fang Yuan was able to destroy the 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation with that thing, I am sure he can deal with this formation too. Bing Sai-chuan was talking about the 5 regional limit formation. Lu Wei-yin nodded and was about to speak when suddenly, a GU immortal came out of Yellow Earth Great World. This female immortal had snow-white skin, her ears were like rabbit ears, her eyes were blood red, it was Lady White Rabbit. Lady White Rabbit had become a genuine rank 8 GU immortal with Fang Yuan's help. Lu Wei-yin laughed and said to Bing Sai-chuan, I've already asked Lord Fang Yuan for help, I wanted to borrow the 5 regional limit formation to break the formation using a formation. Lady White Rabbit, thank you for the hard work. Lady White Rabbit smiled. Of course I need to work hard for Master, I'll even give up my life, this is nothing. But Master did not pass me the 5 regional limit formation, he said that this formation does not have a specific target range, its effect takes too long and won't be effective. Thus, I brought other methods. Bing Sai-chuan was curious, Lord Fang Yuan's methods must be extraordinary, please allow me to have a look. Thus, Lady White Rabbit took out several immortal GU houses from her immortal aperture. Rising Cloud City, Profound Frost House, Unbreakable Golden Fortress, Dragon Soul Dark Castle, Red River Pavilion, Red Heavenly Altar, Scarlet Palace. A total of 7 immortal GU houses which were all at rank 8. Bing Sai-chuan was completely dumbstruck. Master said that he could only create these few immortal GU houses in the short period of time. He has already given orders, we will charge with these immortal GU houses as the vanguard. Lady White Rabbit said. It turned out that ever since Fang Yuan entered Crazed Demon Cave and collected a vast amount of immortal materials, he had ordered the Time Path clone He Chun Chu to use 4 elements square regret blood refinement pool to refine immortal GU. After all sorts of rank 8 immortal GU were created, he started assembling immortal GU houses. Fang Yuan did not intend to construct immortal GU houses originally, they were not very useful to him. But after entering the 8th layer, he could not fight with his full strength here, he made preparations to arm his subordinates instead. He had no time indeed. These immortal GU houses were all modified on the basis of Cloud City, Dark Flow Giant City, Profound Ice House, Unbreakable Iron Fortress, Blood River Chariot, Nightmare Castle, Green Wave Pavilion, Weaving Cocoon Manor, Golden Altar and other immortal GU houses. Strictly speaking, these were considered only partial innovations. But against Heavenly Court, even with 3 Wisdom Path pseudo-venerables, they could not easily decipher and break them, they needed to spend time on deductions. That was enough. Lu Wei-yin became very happy, he distributed the immortal GU houses and charged through into the formation, saving Ice Crystal Immortal Monarch and Xiao Hejian. Afterwards, the 7 rank 8 immortal GU houses swept through the battlefield, breaking 2 more sub-formations. The 2 groups gathered towards Book Mountain. At the peak of Book Mountain, Fairy Feng Ya's eyes were shut as she used her method. Ming Hao and Yushu were taking charge of the situation. Seeing so many immortal GU houses, Fairy Yushu had a grim expression, Feng Yuan is so rich and has terrifying refinement path methods. It seems he intends to progress in refinement path. Thankfully, his wisdom path is inferior to us, these immortal GU houses are all not new, they have an origin that we can trace. Fairy Ming Hao said as she used her killer move. Human path killer move, humble reciprocation. Book Mountain shook as countless killer moves were unleashed like fireworks. In the sky, primordial domain surfaced with rumbling tribulation clouds, calamities and tribulations were unceasing. On the battlefield, countless killer moves filled the vision, surging like sea waves that crashed down in all directions. Against such an endless tide of killer moves, Fang Yuan's subordinates hid inside the immortal GU houses, moving against the waves. Longevity Heaven had many GU immortals but they could not all enter Calamity Luck Altar. Thus, Bing Sai-chuan took out 5 immortal GU houses. Wide Building Harem Palace, Internal Delight Harem Palace, Red Bean Harem Palace, Lovesick Harem Palace, Young Peach Harem Palace. They were the 5 palaces that Giant Sun Immortal Venerable placed in the 5 regions when he was alive, they were all rank 8. The foundation of an Immortal Venerable was displayed in full view. My lifetime accumulation cannot even rival Fang Yuan, he seems to have an overflowing number of rank 8 Immortal GU. Is he trying to become venerable through refinement path? Immortal Zombie Giant Sun looked at the battlefield as he thought. Fang Yuan was observing the battlefield as well while comprehending Thieving Heaven's true inheritance. This Thieving Heaven true inheritance contained Imitation GU and the Killer Move Perfect Pair originally, but Fang Yuan only obtained the rest. But this remaining portion was very important to Fang Yuan. The true inheritance content was about refinement path. It talked about how Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable created a fake Qian Kun crystal wall in his time, how he created fake Immortal GU and so on. Other than the 4 aspects of refinement path that I summarized earlier, there is also this aspect. Refining fake GU. Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable left this true inheritance to me with deep intentions. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2179 Battle of Book Mountain. Chapter 2179 Battle of Book Mountain. Book Mountain was surrounded in the 2 colors of black and white. GU Immortals fought intensely as they could be seen everywhere. Immortal Killer Move. Great Chi Cloud Explosion. Demon Immortal Chi Ju stretched out his finger and pointed consecutively. Instantly, the air in front of him surged and gathered into a lump. Several hundred white Chi comets shot out at once, blocking the attacks of Book Mountain. Fairy Minghao had been using Book Mountain to unleash the Killer Move Humble Reciprocation. Relying on this terrifying move, she was able to suppress the forces of Fang Yuan and Longevity Heaven. These killer moves were all recorded in Book Mountain. There were a variety of them. This was a human path killer move in essence, but the released attacks had the power of their original paths. Demon Immortal Chi Ju faced offense with offense. After destroying the current wave of attacks, he sighed and retreated. After he was saved by Giant Sun Immortal Venerable, he did not interact with Longevity Heaven or Fang Yuan. He moved on his own and quickly learned about the current situation. Demon Immortal Chi Ju also did not want to see Heavenly Court obtain Primordial Domain. He wanted to enter Primordial Domain, in fact, to raise his Chi Path attainment level to Supreme Grand Master. How could he allow others to snatch it first? Demon Immortal Chi Ju was alone and could not take down Heavenly Court. But with Fang Yuan and Longevity Heaven working against the colossal force, he would not be Demon Immortal Chi Ju if he did not make use of this opportunity. To think that attacking Book Mountain is so dangerous, I can't even reach the middle of the mountain. Demon Immortal Chi Ju frowned. When he was suppressed by Divine Emperor City, he lost many of his Chi Path Dao marks. Furthermore, the secluded domain of heaven and earth that he relied on, Shi Land, had only about 30% left after the pursuit battle against Fang Yuan. Bubble bubble, as if a tsunami had struck, another wave of attacks swept down from the top of the mountain like a waterfall. Demon Immortal Chi Ju had no choice but to retreat again. Charge up. A rank 8 Immortal GU house went past him, completely ignoring Demon Immortal Chi Ju. That was the rank 8 Immortal GU house that Fang Yuan created, Unbreakable Golden Fortress. The GU Immortals in the Unbreakable Golden Fortress saw Demon Immortal Chi Ju but did not pay any attention to him. When Demon Immortal Chi Ju first appeared, he was quite the hot topic, but seeing that he had attacked Book Mountain too, Fang Yuan's subordinates also learned of Demon Immortal Chi Ju's stance. Seeing Unbreakable Golden Fortress charge up and resisting the endless wave of killer moves, Demon Immortal Chi Ju could not help but show some envy in his eyes. In this battle, Immortal GU houses were simply too important. They provided the GU Immortals strong defense. Otherwise, as just a single person, how could he advance while resisting endless tribulations and killer moves? Unbreakable Golden Fortress reached the middle of the mountain. In the fireworks of killer moves around it, there was a bloody shadow that flashed by. At the next moment, the huge bloody shadow arrived, showing itself. This was a huge red tombstone with text characters moving around it. It had a dense aura of blood path. This was Demon Judgment Board. Don't think of moving further. Within Demon Judgment Board, GU Fang Zheng spoke. Bam! With a loud sound, the 2 Immortal GU houses crashed into each other. Unbreakable Golden Fortress, advancement was forcefully halted. Demon Judgment Board shot out blood-red light that resembled a beam. It hit Unbreakable Golden Fortress. Unbreakable Golden Fortress raised its defense and blocked the blood-red light, but it was still forced down from the middle of the mountain by an unstoppable force. Even though Unbreakable Golden Fortress was a rank 8 Immortal GU house, it was still far from Demon Judgment Board, which was a peak creation. GU Fang Zheng breathed roughly. Heavenly Court had few Immortal GU houses. Even including Divine Emperor City, Heaven Overseeing Tower, and Divine Emperor City, they only had 6. Right now, these 6 Immortal GU houses were used to defend themselves, dealing with the Immortal GU houses that attacked them. Over on Longevity Heaven's end, Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace did not move out. But Calamity Luck Altar and the 5 harem palaces totaled to 6, they were equally numbered with Heavenly Court's immortal GU houses. While Fang Yuan suddenly brought out 7 immortal GU houses. This was out of their expectations. They had originally thought that Fang Yuan would reconstruct Dragon Palace or Myriad-Year Flying Warship, but to think that he would start over and bring out 7 immortal GU houses like Unbreakable Golden Fortress. So be it if he made new ones, but these immortal GU houses were all rank 8. 7 rank 8 immortal GU houses gave Heavenly Court an immense pressure in guarding themselves. Heavenly Court only had around half the immortal GU houses of their enemies, while Longevity Heaven's Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace and Fang Yuan's Peaceful Soil Heavy Mountain Fortress had yet to join the battle. This made the hearts of Heavenly Court GU immortals sink. Under Fang Zheng's control, Demon Judgment Board went around to force back the invading immortal GU houses, attempting to maintain their defensive circle. The enemies are very strong, we can maintain the situation now with Divine Emperor City, Heaven Overseeing Tower, and myself as support. But if this goes on, we will not last long. Gu Fang Zheng's expression was pale, he understood this internally. He felt like he was reaching his limit already. The intensity of the battle was too high. Demon Judgment Board not only had to go around to fight against the many immortal GU houses, it also had to resist the bombardment of killer moves and tribulations. The expenditure of immortal essence was shocking even for Fang Zheng. Demon Judgment Board's damage level was also increasingly severe. Back then in Thieving Heaven's true inheritance space, Demon Judgment Board had already been heavily hit by Fang Yuan, it had already been repaired earlier. Now, its current damage was newly created. If Fang Zheng was alone, he might have already lost control of the situation. Thankfully, Demon Judgment Board had the wills of the previous Demon Judgment Board lords, these wills were helping him to rapidly repair the immortal GU house. Since when did our Heavenly Court's foundation lose to others? At the peak of Book Mountain, Fairy Minghao maintained the killer move humble reciprocation while sighing to herself. In Heavenly Court's case, the situation was quite bad. Even though Heavenly Court's GU immortals fought desperately to defend themselves, the defensive line was already wavering, the immortal GU houses might break through at any moment and arrive at the peak. At the peak of Book Mountain, Fairy Fengya was still using her full strength to use the killer move and try to obtain Primordial Domain, she could not be interrupted. Fairy Minghao and Yu Shu looked at each other, the latter waved her hand, go. A tiger roar and crane cry resounded in the battlefield. 2 legendary immemorial beasts, Shabi 95 and Ruan Dan, charged down the mountain. Even though Heavenly Court did not have any more immortal GU houses, they had 2 legendary immemorial desolate beasts. Immemorial desolate beasts had tough bodies, legendary immemorial desolate beasts were even tougher. Shabi 95 and Ruan Dan charged towards Rising Cloud City from the left and right, ignoring all the killer moves and tribulations above them. Rising Cloud City was controlled by Fairy Miao Yin. She was about to charge into the battlefield when 2 legendary immemorial beasts pincer attacked her. Fairy Miao Yin quickly used her killer move, Rising Cloud City spewed out endless cloud chi to push the immortal GU house upwards rapidly. But Ruan Dan flapped its wings and flew above Rising Cloud City, activating a killer move and slashing with the crane leg, shattering the roof of Rising Cloud City and destroying countless mortal GU. Bam! At the next moment, Shabi 95 charged fiercely and knocked Rising Cloud City over, causing it to roll down the mountain. Fairy Miao Yin's figure staggered, she wanted to control Rising Cloud City to ascend again but it did not respond to her, her immortal essence was instilled without getting any response. Demon Immortal Chi Ju was to the left, upon seeing this, he immediately flew over. He gave a cry, Shilan's silhouette appeared above his head. Immortal killer move, Shi. Shiland erupted with immense attraction force, absorbing the chi ring around the surface of Rising Cloud City into Shiland. After getting released, Rising Cloud City immediately regained freedom. Thanks. Fairy Miao Yin thanked and was about to move the immortal GU house back into the battlefield when she suddenly heard Fang Yuan's orders. Fairy Miao Yin was stunned. But she reacted quickly and brought the other GU immortals out of Rising Cloud City. Lord Chi Ju, my master ordered me to gift this Rising Cloud City to you. Fairy Miao Yin said. What? Demon Immortal Chi Ju was stunned before laughing heartily. Fang Yuan is truly generous, I will receive it with thanks. Demon Immortal Chi Ju did not stand on ceremony, he entered Rising Cloud City, it flew up and attacked the mountain again. At the middle of the mountain, Shabi 95 and Ruan Dan worked together and pushed down Dragon Soul Dark Castle. Lady White Rabbit led the immortals inside Dragon Soul Dark Castle, she did not charge anymore, instead, returning to the base of the mountain to join up with Fairy Miao Yin. Demon Immortal Chi-Ju finally reached the middle of the mountain. He saw Shabi 95 and his eyes lit up. Good beast, I lack a steed myself. Demon Immortal Chi-Ju kept rising Cloud City and only attacked Shabi 95. The two fought for a few rounds. Shabi 95 soon fell into a disadvantage. It started requesting for help. This legendary immemorial beast cultivated Chi Path. It was completely countered by Demon Immortal Chi-Ju. Don't fear, I am here. Ruan Dan came over to help. It spat out a bright red pill. What path is this? Demon Immortal Chi-Ju sensed the mysterious aura of the pill. He did not dare to be careless. He brought out Rising Cloud City and went inside. Boom! The pill landed on Rising Cloud City and self-detonated. The intense shock wave spread out everywhere. A corner of Rising Cloud City was destroyed in the process. Even though Pill Path was not specialized in offense, it was still a new path that Rising Cloud City could not guard against. Ha ha ha, 95, you owe me a favor. Ruan Dan laughed proudly. Shabi 95 pouted and was about to answer when its expression suddenly changed. Be careful. Ruan Dan's heart shook as it quickly jumped. But the mysterious enemy was even faster. Can you escape? Hearing the voice, Ruan Dan felt like its long neck was grabbed by a tiny hand. Compared to its mountain-like body, the normal human-sized hand was definitely tiny. But Ruan Dan felt a shudder when this hand touched its neck. It screamed in a shrill voice. Because it twisted its neck and saw a young man wearing a red cape, standing on its back. It was none other than Fang Yuan's transformation path clone, Zhan Yudu. At this moment, he had already used incomplete freedom transformation killer move. His battle strength rose to pseudo-venerable level. Wait, Ruan Dan screamed, but Zhan Yudu snickered and exerted strength. At the next moment, boom, an intense explosion resounded like thunder. Book Mountain shook, black and white rocks were sent flying. At the next moment, a huge pit appeared on the ground. Ruan Dan was beaten unconscious by Zhan Yudu. Its body was motionlessly embedded into Book Mountain. Its mouth opened as blood flowed out. But soon, a bright light flashed on Ruan Dan's body. Its injuries healed quickly. It regained its consciousness. Thankfully, I have my killer move, life-saving recovery pill. Ruan Dan woke up and wanted to struggle. But Zhan Yudu's fist was already raised. Bam bam bam. With a series of punches, Zhan Yudu slammed down on Ruan Dan's head each time, causing the whole of Book Mountain to shake. Only until he smashed Ruan Dan's skull completely and brain matter flowed out did he stop attacking. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 2180 Chi-Si vs Yushu. Chapter 2180, Chi-Si vs Yushu. Against Zhan Yudu, the great legendary immemorial beast Ruan Dan was completely unable to put up a fight. But at the next moment, a bright light flashed on Ruan Dan's corpse again. Immortal killer move, life-saving recovery pill. With the effect of the killer move, Ruan Dan's smashed skull started to heal. It was soon revived. Pill path, Zhan Yudu also showed a look of surprise. Ruan Dan's healing killer move was formidable. It could actually revive it from that state. Even with Zhan Yudu's pseudo-venerable battle strength, he could not easily get around it. After all, even the main body did not understand pill path. Since I cannot unravel it, so be it. I want to see how many times you can revive. Zhan Yudu showed a ruthless expression. Boom boom boom. He punched time and again. Each punch landed heavily on Ruan Dan, killing it on the spot. The poor Ruan Dan had just revived and did not react in time before its skull was smashed again. Immortal killer move, life-saving recovery pill. A few breaths of time later, the recovery method activated again. But this time, the killer move's shining light became much dimmer. Persevere, Ruan Dan, I will save you. Shabi 95 shouted, rushing from another area to help out. Even though it constantly argued with Ruan Dan normally, the two of them had a close friendship. Especially after major battles like the Fate War, their camaraderie had already improved greatly. Even if this was Zhan Yudu, Shabi 95 did not care about anything else. It wanted to save its friend. HMPH, trying to leave. Do you think I am not here? Demon Immortal Chi-Ju shouted in anger as he used a killer move that landed on Shabi 95's back. Shabi 95 suffered a heavy blow. It growled in pain and fell from the sky. Seeing that Ruan Dan died at Zhan Yudu's hands again, at the peak of Book Mountain, Fairy Minghao's frown became deeper. Zhan Yudu was an opponent that gave the three fairies, Feng Ya, Ming Hao, and Yushu a huge headache. He had terrifying strength and overwhelming defense, together with the abilities of internal breathing green fish transformation, devouring blue leopard transformation, and thunder rush yellow bird transformation. Zombie Yudu had no weaknesses at all. The three immortals did not know how to deal with him. If this were a normal battle, the three immortals could rapidly move and attack him from a distance, restraining and weakening him. But now, Heavenly Court had to defend Book Mountain. This was a defensive battle. And the worst nightmare for a defensive battle was someone like Zombie Yudu. If he managed to charge unhindered and went beyond the defensive line, it would be trouble. But the three immortals had discussed it already. They had a plan against Zombie Yudu. Immediately, Fairy Minghao willed and transmitted some words to Genesis Lotus, will inside Divine Emperor City. At the next moment, a jade light spiral appeared on the surface of Divine Emperor City. From within the spiral, a giant flew out from the center. The giant wore golden green armor, its left hand held a shield, its right hand held a spear, it was bursting with vitality and life force, its aura was immense. The giant recited, 100,000 years of unending hatred. Killing the enemy with a shattered body. Awakening once more in Divine Emperor City. Qingqiu exists under the Karma Divine Tree. It was the legendary immemorial desolate beast, Qingqiu. During the pursuit battle against Fang Yuan, Qingqiu killed Spectral Soul, but it was also completely blown to bits by Spectral Soul's self-detonation, reduced to countless pieces of flesh. Divine Emperor City retrieved these pieces of flesh and revived Qingqiu again. The current Qingqiu was no longer in its initial form of turtle shell, tiger claws, dragon tail, snake neck, bat wings, and human head. It was now a completely armored and equipped warrior. Qingqiu arrived before Zombie Yudu and its towering body slammed down like a mountain, its spear pierced the air as winds blew intensely, as if a giant dragon had struck. Come, Zombie Yudu did not retreat but moved ahead, his figure flashed and appeared at Qingqiu's forehead immediately. Zombie Yudu punched fiercely, hitting Qingqiu's helmet. With an intense sound, a huge force caused Qingqiu to move backwards, its colossal body landed on the middle section of the mountain, causing Book Mountain and its surroundings to tremor. Zombie Yudu flew down and rained a flurry of fists, the attacks were intense and unceasing. If Qingqiu let the punches land without obstruction, it would end up like Ruan Dan. At the crucial moment, a giant tree formed above Qingqiu's head, absorbing the force of Zombie Yudu's punches. Immortal killer move, Karma Divine Tree. At the next moment, the Divine Tree shook as countless fists shot out from between the leaves. It was Zombie Yudu's earlier wave of attacks. This move had once caused trouble to Spectral Soul. Zombie Yudu also felt troubled, he was forced back by the fists. Qingqiu took the chance to stand up as Zombie Yudu floated in the air, resisting Fairy Minghao's humble reciprocation killer move while regaining his footing. Qingqiu roared and took large strides forward. It arrived before Zombie Yudu with 2 steps, waving its long spear to attack him. Rumble. 2 figures continued to fight intensely. They exchanged blows and caused the entire place to tremor. Their offenses caused a huge commotion. I get it now, so this was Genesis Lotus Immortal Venerable's objective. Qingqiu has been completely subdued by Divine Emperor City, it is now the general of the Divine Bean Soldiers. This is the strongest Divine Bean Soldier. Zombie Yudu had a realization. A few rounds later, he gained the upper hand again. Qingqiu was not an ordinary legendary immemorial beast, but Zombie Yudu was currently using incomplete freedom transformation. He had genuine pseudo-venerable battle strength, Qingqiu could not win. Heavenly Court also did not expect a win, they only wanted to stall for time. It was like how Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable invited Fang Yuan in order to stall for time as well. As long as time passed and Heavenly Court obtained primordial domain, their advantage would be expanded, they would be able to claim victory. Immortal killer move, Unlimited Qi Si. A figure suddenly appeared, carrying with him an endless sea of Qi that surged together, shrouding the rays of the sun. It was Qi Si Ancestor. Seeing that Zombie Yudu was obstructed, Qi Si Ancestor immediately chose another direction to attack the mountain. At the peak of the mountain, Fairy Yushu sighed as she was forced to take action. She left the mountain and fought against Qi Si Ancestor. Qi Si versus Yushu. One was a Qi Path Pseudo-Venerable, the other was a Wisdom Path Pseudo-Venerable. The former attacked fiercely, wanting to devastate Heavenly Court, but the latter was resolved to defend this base even at the cost of her life. Qi Si Ancestor attacked grandly with incredible attacks. Qi tides swept the area, accompanied by pillars of white Qi that shot out at times. Fairy Yushu, however, was graceful and elegant. She moved agilely and dodged the endless wave of attacks while activating all sorts of Wisdom Path killer moves. She had an exceptional combat system which used her attainment level to suppress others. It was extraordinary, and even immortal zombie giant Sun would be affected by this move. But her enemy was Qi Ancestor. Qi Ancestor was the clone of Fang Yuan. He shared attainment levels with the main body. Fairy Yushu tried many times with no success. For Fang Yuan, it was not hard to resist her attacks. Fang Yuan was a master in Dream Path, Space Path, Metal Path, Wind Path, Cloud Path, Lightning Path, Information Path, Light Path, and Sound Path. He was a Grand Master in Blood Path, Strength Path, Star Path, Dark Path, Formation Path, Soul Path, Sword Path, Human Path, Wood Path, Food Path, Phantom Path, Luck Path, Ice and Snow Path. He was a great Grand Master in Theft Path, Transformation Path, Rule Path, Chi Path, Fire Path, Wisdom Path, Water Path, Earth Path, Poison Path. He was even a quasi-supreme Grand Master in Refinement Path, Time Path, and Enslavement Path. With such attainment levels, how could Fairy Yushu suppress him? Fairy Yushu had no choice. She had to use other methods against Qi Ancestor. Fairy Yushu was unable to display the power of her combat system, but thankfully, she was familiar with Qi Ancestor's methods. Even though Qi Ancestor had primordial origins true inheritance, he obviously could not use those killer moves against Heavenly Court. As for other killer moves like Heavenly Astral Cloth Robe, Yin-Yang Great Killer Hands, Unlimited Qi, and others, they were all used many times and were known to everyone. Let me help you. Lu Wei-Yin flew over, assisting Qi Ancestor. Fairy Yushu used her strongest killer move to suppress Lu Wei-Yin through attainment levels, effectively weakening him. But Qi Ancestor gained a greater advantage with his help, managing to approach Book Mountain. At this time, Calamity Luck Altar burst out with a golden light. The golden light surrounded Book Mountain and spread around the battlefield like vines. Wherever the golden light went, tribulations would transform and target the peak of Book Mountain instead. And Book Mountain was also shaking intensely from the infiltration of the golden light. Fairy Minghao's body shook unsteadily, her face turned pale as her pupils shrank. This must be Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's doing. To think that he managed to counter humble reciprocation after it was only used for a second time. She gritted her teeth. Even though she was unwilling, she had no choice but to withdraw humble reciprocation killer move. If it continued, she would lose her life. Earlier, when Fang Yuan and Lu Wei-Yin first entered Yellow Earth Great World and led their army to attack Book Mountain, Fairy Minghao had stopped them using humble reciprocation. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable was exceptionally talented. He thought of a way to counter this move in such a short time and successfully dealt with it now. Without the endless tribulations obstructing them, Longevity Heaven's immortals had a clear path now. Many of them cheered loudly in the immortal GU houses as they attacked from all directions. Fairy Minghao gritted her teeth. Fairy Fengya could not take action against them now, while Fairy Yushu was fighting outside. In this situation, they had to rely on her. Immortal Killer Move, People's United Hearts. Immortal Killer Move, Hope of the People. Immortal Killer Move, Heroes Among People. The scene during the Fate War was displayed again. Light spread out towards the Heavenly Court Immortals, causing their strength to rise sharply. But this was not enough. Heavenly Court's GU Immortals and Immortal GU houses were just too few in quantity. Then awaken, friends from Heavenly Court, our comrades. The people of the 5 regions and 2 heavens need you. Heavenly Court needs you now. Fairy Minghao shouted loudly. From the northwest direction of Book Mountain, an immortal graveyard radiated with countless rays of bright light. From the light, 2 figures walked out. One was an old man with a benevolent countenance. His brows were particularly peculiar. They were like 2 exquisite dark brown roots that extended down from his forehead to his chest. The other was a middle-aged man with a very robust physique. His face and muscles seemed to be made from brass as they let out cold metallic luster. I heard the call. The old GU Immortal, Duke Mei, squinted and said. Where are the enemies? The middle-aged GU Immortal Duke Tong looked beyond a vast distance, locking his eyes on Calamity Luck Altar. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Less than report chapter greater than so we can fix it as soon as possible.